What's up, everyone? Welcome to Table Moments Live. I'm your host and captain, Ayman. If you know what this is, you don't need an introduction. But if you don't, this is a podcast, only podcast about anything and everything. I mean, this is transitioning right now. I don't even know what to call it. Let me get the color. Let's see. Ooh, do you guys want to go noir? This is kind of cool. This is cool. This looks cool. It looks like cool. And yeah, all right. Welcome to Table Moments Live. Actually, maybe I'll make it a little darker. I should write these settings down so I don't have to like constantly, because I feel like on YouTube it darkens it a little bit. So let me double check. It darkens it a little bit. Should warn people too when I'm on. I wish it wasn't so. I feel like it's washed out for some reason. Picture style. Let's see, neutral, faithful. That's interesting. Ooh, fine detail might look better. So, and it looks like their sound. Let's go to Twitch. I got to build an app that checks this automatically for me. Cool. I'm in the shot. Awesome. Cool. Welcome to Table Moments Live. Again, I'm your host and captain, Ayman, where we talk about anything and everything, but no politics. On the lives, obviously, I relaxed the rule because you guys are really political. I'm thinking about starting to do video essays. Like I've been getting into script writing for these short form videos, which is cool. I've actually really enjoyed them. And on Instagram, they seem to be improving. The quality, or at least the reach, seem to be improving. So that's pretty cool to see that when I organize my thoughts in a clear way and I edit them so that it makes sense and it flows well, then people are actually more receptive to it. So a few days in a row, breaking over 1,000 views, which isn't a lot, but it's definitely more than what it used to be, like 250, So, but I think on TikTok, they don't do as well. So it's this weird thing between platforms. Like I use the nicer camera. I recite the script, looking into the lens and reading off a screen, which I still got to get better at. And then post it on Instagram, it does well. Post it on TikTok, not so much because it's too polished, I think. And people on TikTok aren't really about that polished life, So that's what I'm dealing with. So I hope that I don't have to make like, you know what? I think I'm going to keep the Instagram, just those type of thought pieces, commentary on like friendships and relationships, but also like things in the world in a more serious way. And then all the random stuff that I tend to bring up, even on these lives, I think I'm going to leave for YouTube and TikTok. Probably TikTok the most, because I do stitches there all the time. So TikTok has the most videos for sure. And then YouTube, I think I'm going to do the long form stuff. So maybe video essays, but I don't know if that even makes sense for the YouTube channel, because like I'm all over the place. There is no theme. I don't, Table Moments doesn't have a theme. And I think that's the dilemma I'm in right now, trying to figure out what this is. So I recently posted a video on YouTube talking about how I made this. The intention with this is I wanted a slim and light wallet that I could put in my front pocket with my smartphone. And I made a YouTube video talking about the process of this design and how I came to it. And so like it's thin, it's light, it's obviously money. And I know it's transparent. And people are like, why would you show your money? It's not about showing the money. It's about getting something thin and light that I can fuse, that I don't have to sew. Because there are other wallets that are slim and light. And I didn't feel like spending $30, $40 for basically a piece of plastic. So I ended up making it myself. And the easiest plastic to find was this kind of stuff, polypropylene. And then the cool thing is, now that I figured out, and so in the video I was talking about how perhaps we can turn this into a sellable product, something we can actually sell to people. And the cool thing about the success I've had on TikTok is that I actually can promote products. And TikTok now recently opened up a store, and they're offering a lot of incentives for buyers and sellers to participate on their platform. And I figured, why not get the bag with this too, and figure out a way to monetize this podcast through the selling of our own products. And so the first items up for sale on TikTok Shop. And it's pretty cool. I literally just did it today. So we'll see if we can get any sales off of live stream. But I mean, I think it's cool. I use it every day. And to a lot of people, it'd be like, what the fuck? But if you're the type of person who can appreciate a very thin wallet that you can put in your front pocket, that you can put designs or whatever in the back, that you can use tap to pay without taking the card out, you can show your ID without taking the card out. Like, it's hella functional when you think about it. But that's what I'm working on right now. And so it'd be cool if we could monetize this podcast this way. So we don't have to do ads. We don't have to do sponsored reads. We don't have to talk about zip or anything like that. That'd be pretty cool. We just promote our own products. We design our own things. And then if you come as a guest on the podcast, which I still do, by the way, episodes are still out. We have I think the next episode will be episode 130. And if you want to come on the podcast, you're working on some stuff, you have things to sell, come on, we'll promote you. And maybe it'd be cool to make some TikTok videos or something. And then we can promote your stuff. And that could be a cool way to just give people a voice, some opportunity to get some distribution and reach that otherwise they wouldn't have, or they would have to pay for. Instead, we can give it for free because you're part of the Table Moments family. That would be really cool. And yeah, I'm proving it out. Yo, it's crazy if I actually pull this off, bro. Oh man, I'm gonna be super excited. Not for the money part, the idea part, because we had Breezo. He's a rapper and close friend of ours that came on the podcast about a year ago, I think. And it was the episode with him where he was talking about how he had a new album coming out. And then it got me thinking, like, wow, we could actually use this as a platform to promote the people we know, promote other people who want to come on. And so if that's the way, if maybe that's the purpose of this, I'd never, from the beginning, never thought about directly making money from media, but we can make money in other ways because we have media reach. And so that's the idea behind all this. And yeah, I told myself I was going to give it 3 years, and I'm coming up on 3 years right now. December will be 3 years. Actually, November technically. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, I have the comments here. So if you guys want to leave anything, let me know. I'm going to join the people on TikTok, add them there, and we'll do this live. Here's the cool thing. TikTok Live lets you promote products on your page, and I can promote this product here on the page while on a live stream. So that'd be cool. This is the first time. Get a sale or two off the rip on the first day. But we'll see. But I weirdly have to have it on in the shot somehow. Live. Let's see. Business. Add products. Before you go live, ensure the content aligns with there. Okay. Billboard. Let's see. How does this work? Ooh, let's go. Okay. Cool. I don't know. I've never done this before, so I think there's a product here. Before you go live, ensure the content aligns with your TikTok shop community guidelines. Yeah, it does. It's just a wallet. Cool. Live. Connect with sellers, get items. Oh, I could do giveaways. That'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool if I do a giveaway one day. But let's see. Let's go live. Let's make sure you're not in the shot. Okay. Cool. Are we good? Yes. Let's move this here. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, like Casey Neistat type shit, right? Just like go out. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Let's go there. Cool. And yeah, let's go live. Disclose live as sponsored content. Your live will be disclosed. Agree and go live. Cool. I don't know what the rules are, but I'm pretty sure I have to have this in the stream somehow. Hey everyone, welcome to Table Moments Live. Welcome. Welcome. How's it going? And yeah. Hey everyone. Hey Ava, DR, Marissa, how's it going? How's it going? Allie, what's up? How's everyone doing? Welcome to Table Moments Live. I'm your host for this show. This is the podcast where we talk about anything and everything. We try to avoid politics, but I know a lot of you guys really got that stuck in your mind. I'm not sure what's going on in this week's episode or this week on politics, but yeah, I honestly don't keep up with this stuff anymore. I used to be very political. Can you do an ASMR? I think my voice naturally is ASMR. It's kind of deep, you know? So, but like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can get that ASMR back for sure. I can get it. Like, what, like, I don't know. ASM Ruiz, I don't know if he's still on this platform. I haven't seen him in a minute, but I think, I think my voice is kind of ASMR. Who knows? Lena, how's it going? I posted some videos this week, and I think some of them are some interesting topics. It's weird that the same video that I post here versus Instagram and the reception on each of the platforms, depending on the quality. It turns out you need high quality video if you want to do well on Instagram, and it's been working. But I have some topics this week. Probably the best way to break up with a girl, Nerf deals, real friends, IG girl, and soap. Are you my dad? Spelt because you hit different. That's funny. That's a good pickup line. Bro, my close friend is obsessing over girls. How do I get bro to stop? I don't know, man. Some guys are super thirsty, and I think they're liabilities for sure. I know a couple guys who are like that, and it's just like, bro, you're killing it for all of us because it's like these girls getting too juiced. It's just like, chill, bro. You gotta relax a little bit. You're hotter than Demi Lovato spoon. She has a spoon, and it's hot. Hey, handsome, have a great May God bless you. May God bless you too. My favorite flavor, says mom behind the mask. What flavor is that? What flavor is that? You're hotter than what are you hustling? Come on, my own shit. It's my own shit. I literally just made this today. Mine. I use it every day. So I'm trying to see if I can monetize this podcast and give you guys something that's actually pretty cool. It's a wallet I use. You're hotter than what are you hustling? Remember King's, let's see. Oh my God. All right. Remember King's nice guys finish last, awesome guys finish on our back. Yeah, that's true. Chocolate. I'm more like dark chocolate, but okay, I appreciate it. Mom behind the mask. I wish the caveman from the Caucasus Mountains would back off this black king. Us. Yo, what? Stop. Chill, everyone. I'm jealous on your head shape. It's so symmetrical, bro. I don't know if it is, because it's a little bit, but I mean, I'm not insecure about it. Like, my head's my head, and I've always shaved it. So even I am balding, but you just have to learn to accept what you got. Maybe wear a hat if it's not working out for you. Will this increase my chances of being mugged? I mean, you could always put artwork. That's the cool thing. It actually has a pocket, and I'm going to make some videos on this account where you can actually put stickers or like pictures of your family or something like that. I just think this is a pretty cool flex, and so I keep it like this. So yes, you will get mugged. Just to answer your question quickly, though. Have a great night. You too, bro. When did you decide to shave your head? I was balding at 22, 23, but I've always shaved my head. So it's kind of, do you wipe or let it crust? I'm not sure what the context of that is. Is that a pizza reference? Not a great pitch there. You either like these type of wallets or you don't. So I'm not trying to push it on you guys. If you guys like the Thin and Light wallet, you would know some of the other brands that are out there. And I was like, nah, let me make my own. So I did. What's your favorite pharmacy? Obviously, the corner. I won't let you get mugged. I'll put my life on the line for you, bro. Yeah, look at you, Keith. Good looking out, bro. Good looking out. Key, thanks, bro. We need more real ones for sure. You know, I have a video script prepared about guys, about why men maybe we don't need to shit on each other all the time, you know? Like women have such great support systems for each other. Like you see this all the time when a girl says something maybe slightly negative about herself. Girls will rush in to like defend her from herself. It's like, no, you're a great girl. You got this, blah, blah, blah. But you see other men and the way we treat each other, it's like, you shut the fuck up. You suck. Da, 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 da. You're broke. It's just like the world's already telling you you're shitty. Why do we need to tell each other? You know, you're like the Habsha big bro I never had. Oh, well, that's cool. All right. I think you're Habsha too. Uh, yeah, that's the thing. I think, I don't know. It's weird because guys have a natural inclination to be in competition with each other. And it's a shame. It really is. Because I think when we collaborate, we can really build some things. Obviously, there's certain dudes that just can't be trusted. You know, those guys who are a little too thirsty around girls. And it's just like, all right, chill, chill. You know, those people you got to be careful with. But yeah, bro, I am. I have to say it's the opposite between men and women, what you described. What do you mean? Oh, so like women aren't supportive of each other? Okay, okay, yeah. Let me clarify. I think women are supportive of each other publicly, but in private, they shit on each other all the time. And then guys, publicly, we shit on each other all the time. But if you're close with some homies, then they got your back for life. Can I have those bands in your hand? You can have the wallet it's in. Sponsored. This stream is sponsored by my own TikTok shop. If you guys want it. The money's not included. Bro, I was having a debate with my cousin. Women definitely have it easier than men, right? I guess it depends on the context. You know, it's easy to say like one gender has it easier than the other. But all right, let's talk about the advantages that men have. We don't have to fear for our safety, typically. I mean, yeah, obviously you're not going to go into like dangerous neighborhoods or whatever, but I do not flinch. When I want to go for a long walk at night, in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., whatever, I just do it. I can do things like that. Women don't have that luxury. You know, there's a sense of vulnerability that they walk around with all the time. So I can understand their mindset. That's a huge advantage that I think a lot of guys aren't appreciating. The fact that you can be free and not worry about your safety. As far as advantages women have, like by default, people are nicer to them. Like, I don't think women will ever understand what it's like to be assumed to be sort of guilty of things all the time. Suspicion, I think, is the word that a lot of men experience on a day-to-day basis. Unless, you know, you're attractive or something. But even then, like, and then obviously in the mating context, men are doing the pursuing, women are receiving, so they can be choosy. So it's like different advantages and disadvantages with each. So it depends on the context. You were one of the rare creators to back up both sides with good arguments without getting mad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why people get so like emotional about this stuff. It's like, let's try to find what's true, okay? And usually what's true is usually in some gray area. I'm not going to shit on women, even though I think based on the content I've posted, you might think that I have a bias against women or something like that. But I just think they need to be told. Women are constantly lied to all the time, that I think it's more important to say the things that people aren't saying. And it happens to be things that I think women need to hear more. But really, when I make these videos, it's actually directed at men, even when it's focused around women. Because I'm telling men, like the videos I posted this week, like breakup, like it's better to be, if you want to break up with a girl, you should do it in a blue pill way. So that she's not like she's not hung up on you if you guys do break up. Or IG girl. So like a lot of guys like, all right, Instagram's for dating, right? And so an Instagram account is basically signaling that you are single, right? And so a lot of guys feel like their girl should get rid of their Instagram. But in the context of a relationship that I've ever been in, I never had to ask her. She would want to get rid of it because she likes me, you know? And so this whole idea, I'm telling guys, like, don't worry about her having an Instagram or not. You just make decisions based on how you want to live. Why would I buy a clear wallet? It's about the thinness. It's about the thinness. It doesn't have to be, obviously you don't have to put the money there. You could there's a pocket in here to put your own like pictures or artwork or something like that if you wanted, or stickers or whatever, or pictures of your family. But it's the thinness that I like, that What if I get mugged? Everyone keeps saying that. I'm just like, you don't have to flex the bill. You don't have to flex. I don't know. My sister said that too. I was like, yeah, but you don't have to show the money. You can show whatever you want. And there's a pocket in here to put your own artwork or like brands or like stickers or pictures or barcodes, which is what I use this sometimes when I have to scan barcodes. I just put it in the back pocket and then I can just scan it and go. And the cool thing is like I can use my cards tap to pay without taking it out when I use it. Why am I putting artwork in a wallet? You either get it or you don't. That's the thing. Like, it's for people who like thin and light wallets. It just happens to be transparent. I mean, I don't know. Like it would just seem kind of lame if it was a colored wallet, you know? That's what I'm saying. But whatever. It's my product. I'm trying to monetize the podcast. So I made this. I'm an engineer. I invent shit. And I want to test it out. How are you always so positive? Am I? Maybe I'm positive here. I try not to spread negativity, but in my personal life, people say I'm pretty cynical because I am a lot like Gregory House from House MD. Like everybody lies, everyone's deceiving each other. I am a bit of an asshole. I tell the truth, which people don't like hearing a lot of the time. How did you make the decision to move to Texas from California? What were you looking for? I was looking for something outside of California. That's it. I decided on Texas because my brother lives in San Antonio and he seemed to enjoy it. I wanted to taste a little freedom, is what they say, right? In the Lone Star State. And people they are free, but it does come with consequences, at least socially. Like people are pretty reckless on the road. I have a thin black wallet. Oh, so you don't need this. Let's see. Are you a Virgo? I'm not a Virgo. What age group is your content geared towards? Adults, middle, like I would say 25 to 45. I think fits that. Maybe 25 to 40 is the age. It's not for kids. It's not for kids. And I think this is an interesting strategy too. Like I know a lot of people go for kids because they're online and everything like that, but I don't know if anyone's ever tried to like go after a middle-aged age group. Bra House getting smacked in real life. I'm not sure what you mean. How old is he? Is 27. 27. Yeah. So he moved to San Antonio to start a business with some buddies of his. And I wanted to leave California. I had no reason to be in California anymore. I originally went to California to work with some people and that thing ended. So I had no reason to be there. And I grew up in California, so I'm not really a fan of it. Just living there, especially the part of California I was in. It's not it. So, let's see. I'm also live streaming on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. If you guys want to see me on a bigger screen, you guys can check that out. Hey, Tiger. Yo, Kirko, what's up, man? How's it going? How's your coursework going? I'm gonna try not to talk any tech tonight, but like, yo, try signing up for a developer account with Apple so you could code sign your stuff. And yeah, it's not easy. Like it's not easy. Yeah. Hey, Sharp. Kellen Yeller, how's it going? Kellen Yeller. That's interesting. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's see. I have certain topics. If you guys are just listening, I could just go off. Just put a 1 in the chat if you just want me to start going off, or if you guys have any questions. Should I? Because I mean, it's so easy for me to just go on these diatribes. Like I just noticed certain things this week. Okay, cool. What changes do you notice between people's behavior, friends groups between California and Texas? Okay, that's a good question. All right, so I've gotten a chance to live in 3 time zones. Okay. Originally born and raised in California, and I went to school in California. It wasn't until I was 23 that I left California and I moved to New York, gotten a chance to live that East Coast life, and then moved back to California and then finally Texas. Okay, so California, people there are laid back. People are very relaxed, obviously super liberal, as you would expect California to be. And if you like that laid back, chill attitude, that's cool. But if you have any hustle in you, it's kind of insufferable. And then also the politics is kind of annoying because, you know, you see the outcome of their voting decisions in the streets, but they can't put two and two together. So it is what it is. And then New York, obviously, I was upstate New York, so I didn't get the whole New York City thing. But upstate, it's obviously they have to deal with winter, so they're tougher. They have to deal with more BS because you got to plan better. You got to deal with driving in snow. You got to dig your car out of snow. Just the whole hardship of like a winter experience kind of toughens you up a little bit, and you have to plan better. And so when it comes to like responsibility and grit, you find that in the East Coast. And then as you move closer to New York City, you find that there are also hustlers too. People on the East Coast, they just have this thing about them to like move and prepare and make, I don't know, it's just the vibe. Here in Texas, obviously, freedom's a big thing, and you notice it like when people behave in certain ways. All I've noticed is basically like, you can tell, you know how you can tell the way an area is by the drivers in that area? Like here, people don't give a fuck, dude. Like it's crazy. One time I was in Dallas and it was literally bumper to bumper traffic and cars were not moving. And so you know what they did? There was like an exit in the opposite direction, or no, an off ramp off of the highway or something like that. Basically, like you would have to go, no, it was an on ramp. It was an on-ramp in Dallas, and it was bumper to bumper traffic and no cars moving. And the GPS says it's going to take like an hour to get through just to drive what would normally take 2 minutes. And so what people were doing was driving. They literally turned their cars around, driving through the on-ramp in the opposite direction until a cop came and had to stop them all. It's crazy. I've never seen such blatant rule breaking on the road than in Texas. And I was just like, people here don't give a fuck. The other day, I saw a truck just drive over like a curb just because they didn't want to like go around the parking lot. So they just went over it in their truck. I was like, oh, okay, this is Texas. Got it. They just do what they want. It was like, all right, that's Texas. Okay, just wondering because you were talking about Instagram accounts being an issue in relationships. Yeah, like a lot of guys, you know, like if you see some of the dating videos, guys are talking about how like Instagram, if she has an Instagram and you guys are in a relationship, it might be a problem, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, if she doesn't use it for work or to promote herself in some way, like a content creator or something, then yeah, maybe it's a problem. And she's showing like suggestive pictures for whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of a problem. And I think you ladies would agree with me that this is not a healthy thing to do in a relationship if you're in a relationship. But I mean, the fact that she has an Instagram account shouldn't be a problem. And then also I find when a girl, at least in my experience, has been with me, when she really likes me, I really like her, it's a good relationship, she brings up the idea of getting rid of her Instagram account. I don't care one way or the other, but and so it's a good litmus test for you to see the health of your relationship and how she feels about you, where she doesn't need that external validation because she gets plenty from you. So that's what I was trying to do or explain. My CS professor has no idea what he's doing. That's all. What class? What is he teaching? What am I talking about tonight? I have a few topics. So obviously I have like how to maybe an ideal way to break up. I also posted a video about like if you have kids and you want to get some Nerf guns, you can find them at the Goodwill for basically nothing. I talk about real friends. So we could talk. I think it would be a really interesting discussion about like whether or not you actually have real friends around you, like the way I am with friends. Like in the video that I posted this week, I explain like if your friend's really a friend, they're going to be the first person to support you. Not just verbally, not just give it lip service, but actually actively take steps to promote you, to push you, to make sure that you win. And so I opened that video with saying your friends don't want you to win, and which is true for a lot of people. Because like the type of person I am, when I'm friends with somebody, like if they tell me something that they've always wanted to do, I'm going to push them to do it. And I will be annoying about it. I will even help them get started. And because I think that's a duty as a friend to help overcome whatever mental barriers that are keeping you from becoming the person you want to be. And so like if anyone around me talks about like Hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing. I'm thinking about learning this, doing that. I'm like, yes, do it. Go do it right now. Stop. Stop wasting time. Here are the things. Here's what you need to actually get started. And I bought them for you. Just go do it. And I'll even do it with you if you want me to. And so that's the kind of person I am. I want the people around me to win. Like, just because. I don't know. That's always been my attitude, but I guess a lot of people don't behave that way. I'm from California. I know what you mean. It's true. Do you like living in Texas? No, I don't. I didn't realize how hot it gets in the summer. People told me it gets hot, but I didn't realize it gets hot and then stays hot. Like it does not drop below like 85, even at night, which sucks because I like walking a lot. So I haven't been able to walk in like a couple, 3 weeks or something because it's just been hot. I like diverse places. Texas was just okay. I don't care. Just don't put me on it. Wave? Wave what? You want me to wave? Bigfoot? The real friends is a good topic. Dealt with a lot. You dealt with a lot about that this year. Did you have to cut some people off? Which I've had to do. I've done before, and that's also a whole other interesting. I think it would be an interesting video actually cutting people out of your life because they're not good for you. But true friend can say you are crazy as well and wish you good luck at the same time. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's fine if they say you're crazy. Like, here's the thing: my brother, he doesn't understand this whole like why do the podcasting thing, that it could even work, whatever, until earlier this year when I started figuring out how to like sort of make viral videos and accidentally got on one, and then finally was like, holy shit, oh my god, like you got millions of views, whatever, and it's like he didn't understand this whole podcasting thing and why I was doing it, but he was still supportive and he would still come on the episodes and we would still record episodes and everything. So despite how he felt about what I was talking about, he still supported in the ways I needed, which is coming on the pod and actually being able to record episodes with me. That's a lot to ask from a friend. Sounds like a life coach. No, that's the thing. Like if you're around people who want you to win, life, because it's hard to stay in that mindset a lot of the time, or like some of us just have certain things, maybe we grew up in certain environments that kind of suppress our ability to go do the things that we want to do. Like I remember I was in a relationship with somebody once who always talked about like making something, this soap thing, basically making soap. It's like this whole chemical process or whatever with lye and all that stuff, and they thought about it for like 5 years. 5 years they've thought about making soap, but they never did it. And so I was like, you know what? I bought all the ingredients. I'm going to do it this weekend. You can join me or not. That's up to you. And yeah, they were upset. They were upset. It's like, why are you pushing me to do this? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't care. It's not my job to care how you, it's not my job to care about your feelings about being anxious to do this. My job is to help push you so that you can do those things. Now, if you don't have people around you, like a parent or something, like if you had a mom or a dad who told you like, I mean, if you're an immigrant or you come from an immigrant family, you're so used to your parents telling you not to do things all the time. Now imagine the reverse. You had friends who were like supportive and were like, yeah, go do it. And I can help you with that. You know, maybe that's the difference between like white people and other people. It's like their parents would be like, oh, you want to go become a BMX, whatever? Okay. I don't understand it, but I'll help you try to do it. You know, I don't know. Friends change and become competitive, leave you behind for relationships, not as supportive. Yeah, that can happen. All I ask from a true friend is support in conversation and non-judgment. I don't know. People don't appreciate that anymore and will think you're desperate for friendship. Podcasters are all poor. You come off poor. Okay. You can't make money from podcasts. It's very, very hard to make money from podcasts. So you have to make it in some other way, which is why I do something else to make money. Yeah, I guess someone has to push them if they won't do it themselves. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we all have, I think, certain things that we know we should be doing that we're not. And some people have the luxury of knowing exactly what they want to do and the drive to do it. But a lot of the times, like sometimes you're just trying to explore to find what you're meant to do. And so if there's certain things, bro, our parents would say no to shit that was good for us. Yeah, but I mean, like, that's true, and that sucked. Like, if I told, like, do you know what the conversation? Like, my parents didn't understand this podcasting stuff either. They're like, why are you? You know, my dad now he gets it. He thinks it's cool that I'm on YouTube. He thinks because he spends so much time on YouTube, and I'm like there too. So it's like, oh wow, my son's one of those. Who knew? Who knew? Immigrant parents would be kind of cool about podcasts if in the right context. If I just said I record episodes of audio and publish it on a podcast stream, they wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. But tell my dad I'm on YouTube. He's like, ooh, YouTube? Yeah. Did your friend, bro, end up reconnecting with that one woman who didn't break up with her boyfriend or nah? Ooh, I gotta check in with him. That's a good point. I gotta check in with him. I hope he didn't, because I don't know. All right, so for those of you who are Down with the Thickness is on this week's upcoming episode of the podcast. Does he call you Mr. YouTube? I think he does. I think he does. So Down with the Thickness is on this upcoming episode of the podcast. And my brother did mention a situationship he's in or possibly in. I don't know. Ladies, how do you feel? I don't know if I should even put his business out here. So, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to bring it up. I don't like talking on other people's stuff. Mr. YouTube, though. That's pretty cool. Yeah. But you'd be surprised. Like, just in the right context, immigrant parents can be really supportive. Like, here's the thing. I did all the things that they wanted me to do. Not that I did it for them. I did it for me. I was always meant to be an engineer. Like, I'm that kid who was taking things apart and putting it back together. That was just me. Fixing things around the house, trying to figure out how things work. My favorite show growing up was How It's Made. Okay. I was always meant to be an engineer. So like this whole path of doing well in school, going to college, graduating as an engineer, that was always meant to be. That's why to me, it's not like an accomplishment or anything, even though to my parents, it might seem like that because I think I was the first one to graduate with a degree in my family. But to me, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I have never seen my degrees, by the way. I've never seen them. I don't know what they look like. I had them just sent to my parents' place and that's it. Like, I even remember, like, when you graduate, it's not until 3 months later that they actually send you your real degree when you're on stage. For those of you who don't, well, all you guys know, they don't actually give you the real diploma when you're on stage doing the whole graduation ceremony. They give it to you months later after all your fees and stuff have been paid. And so they send you a postcard. For me, they sent me a letter saying, hey, pay $10 to have your diploma shipped to you, whatever, after the period. And I told myself, I'm not going to send this in until I get a job. Because I was like, all right, the whole point of this was to be employable, right? So I put it in an envelope, filled out the postcard, put the $10 check in there, and then just sealed it. And then it took me a while to get a job. I wasn't as social as I am now. So it took me a while. And then I ended up accepting a job in New York and do the job, whatever. And it wasn't until like 5-6 years later that I realized I never sent that envelope about receiving my degree. And it still had the stamp on it, addressed already, sealed. So I was like, fuck it. Let me just put it in the mailbox. And I did. And it turns out it's still valid. And they sent it to my parents' place and I've never seen it. And then at the same time, once I finished my master's degree, same thing. I just had it shipped to my parents' place. I've never seen them. And I actually, one of the pinned videos is about that. That's how I feel low key. Yeah. It's like, if it's a certainty, it's always going to happen. So it's just like, it's not an accomplishment to me, for me personally. Well, immigrant parents don't really have much. I remember I asked my dad how to do any geometry or math problems and he's barely understand it. Yeah. I mean, the same thing for me. After like sixth grade, I couldn't ask him for any help. So I just had to learn how to teach myself. And that's usually just reading the book. And so lots of reading of math and physics books, or not physics, math books mostly, and science books. And then in college, obviously, you teach yourself. My pops is all about school. They think without school, you're a failure. which is interesting because I don't think that's true anymore. I mean, like if you have hustle, the ability to sell is way more important. Way more important than a fucking degree. Man. And I'm learning, grinding through this right now, trying to do it. Matt from Wii Sports. Interesting. That's a new one. I've never heard that one before. Thank you for that, Cheddar Cheese Johnson. Read the books, do the problems. Yeah, it's really that simple. And then if you get the problems wrong, try again. Try again. Doesn't work. Read the example problems. Try again. That was my life, bro. I never went to office hours and never went to, yeah, I just figured it out myself. Somehow pulled it off. It's got me through that, got me through whatever. I don't know. It's what you have to deal with. And so, yeah, although my parents are excited. And then here's the thing. I didn't even want to walk for graduation, but my parents were insistent on coming down and actually going to see me walk on a stage. Who cares? Read the book. People skills are crucial, dude. They're invaluable. The biggest issue is when immigrants don't understand what you're saying, like they expect me to speak their native tongue. What do you mean? Like, let's see, East Coast studying new 3 languages. Well, I mean, if you speak languages, then, you know, nah, you got to walk. It's not for you. It's for them. See, people say that bullshit. No, it's for me. What are you talking about? It's my name on it. Like, it's my name on it, and I don't want it. So it's just like, that's the thing. I didn't walk for my master's. I don't care. It was just coursework. I only got my master's degree because I felt myself getting stupider while working. It's the only reason. I don't care about the fucking degree. I care about learning things. That's the thing. I wanted to challenge my brain. I have one of those. You know, you guys ever feel like that sometimes? You just want to learn shit? Or no, is that just me? No, I'm saying that's how they see it. Yeah, I'm sure that's how they see it. And I try to rationalize with them. I was like, guys, it's just a piece of paper. I don't even know the dean. Okay, he just writes his name here. Like, I don't know. Well, I rather not speak the language my parents come from because they always criticize me for it. Really? That's kind of mean of them. In my eyes, it's a means to an end. Same thing. Same thing. You know, when I went to, it was 2008, the year I started college. And even back then, I knew that it probably wasn't worth getting into debt over. So I didn't. Speaking their language. I've never met an immigrant that expected me to speak their native tongue. Oh, mug, dope as fuck. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'll love aloha. Aloha to you too. Yeah, immigrant parents are interesting. I have to go to the toilet. Don't think you need to announce that, but I appreciate it, Harvey. Harvey's an interesting name. The toilet. Okay, gotcha. Yes, everyone. Harvey needs to go to the toilet. Are you asking if one of us could assist you? Be right back. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can criticize about school in general, like the college experience, how, you know, they teach you all this stuff that most of which you're not going to use on the job, which is like, all right, what's the point? I can understand pursuing it for the sake of learning, but like for a lot of people, like engineers, you guys know, like there are certain people who were your peers in school who probably shouldn't have been engineers at all, because it's just like you don't really have that itch to really just build and figure out how things work and stuff. So you're just going to be miserable. And then when you go into the workforce, you might find that after a few years, you're like, it's so miserable that you get into management or something. I can criticize everything about the American school system. Like, I just want to have my dream career and move on. Yeah, dude. There's so many things that are broken with the American school system, but so many people depend on the current system for a job, which is the problem. Like, my positions on public school and even university and college systems are pretty radical for most people. Like, I'm planning on homeschooling my kids because I don't trust any of these people in any of these schools. And I think kids are far more capable than we give them credit for. So yeah, same here. Like, high school that's why I hated high school, because it was largely a waste of time. I could literally count on, there was one class, one useful thing I got out of high school, and it was learning how to type. That's it. That's it. Everything else I either had to retake or take as a course in community college. Um, Homeschooling, they're gonna be socially awkward though. That's what everyone says, but you can take them to parks. You can sign them up for like sports leagues and stuff. Like, why do people act like homeschool? I don't know, man. That's weird. That's weird. I think you're in the, you got the mind virus, DB. You know, like, have you ever met someone who's homeschooled? Like, they're hella smart, hella smart. Shout out to EE Learning, EMF, just to end up plugging shit into Excel all day. Yes, that's exactly it. Even as a mechanical design engineer, when I was working, I'm like, I learned all this like differentials and like dynamics and control systems and stuff, and here I am doing basic ass static equations. And just like, what the fuck? What's the point? I remember like the first project they put me on was to figure out the elongation of a cable to see if the some big thing that it was holding could fit if inside this other thing. It's like big machine, whatever. And they're like, so if we pull this, will we have enough tolerance to close the doors? It's basically handling like sensitive material, and it needs to be sealed in a certain way. And so I do all this calculations, understanding cables, cable calculations. And it's all just lookup tables and shit. This is like, this is what I'm doing. All this stuff I did in school, and now I'm just doing, and then I had to put it all in MathCAD and write the whole fucking report and shit. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Oh my God. Even this other time I had to design this basically just pin. It's just a pin to hold this big heavy thing. And I was like, oh, okay, we could do it this way. We could do it this way. This way would be easier to manufacture, blah, blah, blah. And so I talked to my lead, and they're like, just make it like the other one, but a little bigger. It's like, what the fuck? So I'm doing all these calculations to make it exactly how you tell me it's supposed to be made. It's like, all right, this shit blows. It blows. That's the job. Nah, I'm good. Let's see. No wonder why I learn more outside. I'm in construction. Most union engineers got to have their hand held by superiors. Dude, I don't know. It's interesting, the relationships between engineers and technicians. Like, engineers are doing all this like calculation stuff, making decisions, but the technicians intimately know the stuff. So you should probably defer to their knowledge a lot of the time. But credentials matter a lot. I don't get it. It's crazy. The more I learn outside of school is giving me the right path, I guess. Yeah. Those homeschool kids were smart, but they always kind of off. No, they seem off because the rest of us have trauma from school. You know, we're all used to being ignored, bullied, thought less of, never pushed intellectually, because obviously the teacher has to serve the lowest common denominator. We're used to doing busy work and being miserable in 45-minute increments between classes. And these kids have lived a free life. That's what healthy looks like. Homeschool. Like you said, you were socially awkward and had to learn so you can work with people. Yeah, but I went to the public system. I was in the public school system. I'd rather have my future child be sent to some European country or first world country to be schooled. When you get out and realize school is the most stimulated your mind will ever be, dude, that's crazy. Unless you're lucky enough to have like a R&D position, but even then, it gets it is what it is. Yeah, R&D positions, those are hard to come by. What did you come on? Yeah, we're talking about school. We're talking about how shitty school is, and some people think homeschoolers are weird, or homeschool students are weird, but I wholly disagree with that sentiment. I think they look weird because that's what healthy looks like, and the rest of us have trauma from public school, and it's so common and ubiquitous that we don't even recognize the problem that it is. I think that's the problem. I think that's the situation. Happy Sunday, Jess. How's it going? How's it going? Great strategist, project manager, and business consultant. They couldn't carry conversations. They can't carry boring conversations, I think. Maybe you just happen to stumble on some homeschooled people who are just weird. I'm just aware of what's happening with what I'm doing in my life. At least you figured it out. That's always good. It's always good. I don't know. Like, yeah, public schools, man, it's crazy. And then people defend it. That's crazier. That's crazier to me. How could you defend it? That's the hard part for me to understand. Just like they show you their test scores. How many teachers you guys, yo, if you guys want to look into, I don't know if you guys want to hear some stuff, but like the public school system is traumatic for a lot of students. And I'm talking in some pretty fucked up ways. Pretty fucked up ways. You know, people talk about the church and priests and all the shady stuff that goes on with some of them. Think about public schools and teachers and rubber rooms. That's a thing. Nobody talks about it though. The weird folk exist in all spaces. Yeah, that's true. I would classify myself as one of those weirdos for sure. It depends on if the kids are socialized. Yeah, there's no reason why they can't be socialized. Like here's the thing: the way kids used to learn was with their parents. You know, doing things, living life. You know, like earlier, I think someone maybe Barlos mentioned learning through life. You learn more through the living of life. And so if you bring your kids as part of it, instead of putting them in these schools, they'll actually learn a lot more. Um, well, why I live in a world full of corruption and irregularities. I don't believe in Gen Pop. That's a great way. That's a great way to describe it. Oh my God, Gen Pop. I'm gonna steal that one. That's hella funny. What's a rubber room? It's rooms where they put troublemaker teachers, um, because they can't fire them. So they just put them in basically like detention for teachers. And you can get arrested as a parent for your child being a truant. Yeah, wasn't that Kamala Harris though? Just saying, she's vice president now. I don't know. I don't know. And you know, Biden's a little iffy, so who knows? Maybe she makes it a national law. Why can't American schools tell us the truth of history, biology? I don't know. It would be awesome if they did. What is this live about? So right now we're talking about schools, public schools, and how shitty they are. But if you want to defend them, feel free. Like here, we talk about like deeper stuff, and the conversation can go anywhere because this is a podcast page where we talk about anything and everything. So we let the conversation go wherever it goes. What more baffles my brain that slavery was created by white saviors, by a white saviors. Okay. That is not true, sir. It says EMTE Gaming. While slavery was invented for a long time, then we live. It was Kamala, yeah, Kamala. But she wore those Tims though, right? There was a show where those teachers went to the school suspension. Did you remember that? There was a show where the teachers went to school suspension. I don't remember a show like that, but it's I don't know. If you ask the average person about like corruption in the clergy, people will talk about it, but it's like, oh, they're doing all these things with young boys, whatever. But when you look at teachers do the same shit too. Or not, I'm not gonna say teachers. That happens in the school system too. You just don't hear about it because, you know, unions and shit. Yurt, what's up, man? What's up, Jose? Deeper stuff, boy. We deep as a puddle. Gosh, shut up. The only gripe I had with public school was having to slow down my learning. Yeah, that's the worst part. That's the worst part because it's like, it gets you into the. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I luckily in seventh grade was lucky enough to take an aptitude test. Gave it to all seventh graders, and I performed well on that test. Well enough that they're like, yo, you're too smart for this regular ass class. We're going to put you on these like basically accelerated classes. And that changed the course of my life for sure when that happened. And like before that, I was never like a diligent student or whatever, but I was put in an environment with other kids who were just as competent and cared about academics. And my performance improved because I was around those kids. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Just the environment itself. by putting yourself in a different environment, you will live up to that environment. And so that's what ended up happening to me. And then for my younger siblings, I told my mom, you got to get them in these things. However you can, get them in there, because it'll like set them up for life. I knew that back in like 8th grade. I told my mom, like, you have to get them in. You have to get them in. And so it worked out for him too. If two countries go to war, who decide what justice is? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, it was a comedy and they had to go to suspension when they effed up. Oh, it's just a show? It's just like, oh, okay. No, I mean like real life. This is real life. I wouldn't defend what those governments trying to put in our minds. Yeah. And then you find out like the history books, like you see how misreported current news and information is. And then you got to think to yourself, okay, so if this is the way it is right now, is there any reason why it couldn't have been this way back in the day? And there isn't, which means probably the shit written in history books is all bullshit too. Right now, I just started reading this book right here. Ryan Holiday, Trust Me, I'm Lying. It's about the confessions of a media manipulator. And basically, he used to work for American Apparel, and he was like apprentice of the guy who wrote 48 Laws of Power or whatever. But basically, he talks about how he used blogs and the internet to manipulate their behavior to get viral. And yeah, it's kind of fucked up once you understand the incentives that are at play with internet media. And so I just started the book and it's already good. Reality is an illusion. The universe is a lie. Buy gold, buy. Okay, that's a great summary. Why is he flexing them bands though? Because TikTok Live. I'm selling these. I'm trying to get the bands through TikTok. I'm trying to monetize TikTok. I made this, by the way. And I'm flexing the bands because, people, let's see if money attracts viewers. It's just a wallet. Thin wallet I made myself. Yeah, that's it. I just care about my dream career and what I want to do in my life. Is it real though? Of course not. Does this look like $100 bill? Does this look like In God We Trust? Does that say that there? In God We Trust? No, of course not. How long you out on parole for? 5 days. History is written by the victor, for real. Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, I didn't realize. I look back at like all this stuff. I question everything now because I see how fraudulent the stuff today is. Even doing the social media stuff, I'm like, wow, I can tell fake shit now. Like, I call it out all the time. People don't care though. People like the bullshit. But it blows my mind. Do you want to play 2K with me? I don't have a PS5 and I don't play video games like that. So that's my thing. I kind of wish in my own world where everything is correct and not take it as ignorance or stupidity. Yeah. You like my glasses? Cool. You can get them at Zenny Optical if you wear glasses too. You can't get the silver on there. These are magnets that I put on there. You should drop it on the floor while walking and see who thinks it's real. It is real. So yeah, I think that'd be cool. I'm thinking about, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Rich, to sell these wallets, like just like all these different scenarios. I could put it and see who's going to give me. Don't know. I don't carry cash. Oh, okay. Yeah. I like carrying cash, but that's just me. Shout out to DEF CON though. They just put a bounty on the Vegas Sphere. Did they really? That's hilarious. Yo, if someone figures out a remote way to do it, that'd be crazy. I don't understand. Like, I was thinking about the Vegas Sphere. This live is a paid ad. It is a paid. Well, I didn't pay for it. It's not a paid ad. Like, it's just an ad. That's why. Because I wanted to test it. I literally just listed this today to see if I can actually get the bag off of TikTok and give something that I actually use every day. So, the creativity beta is cool. Make some money through that, but I think the value of a platform is when you can sell your own things. And so I'm starting off with this because I can make it easily myself and I don't have to like figure out a vendor online. If there's any products or things you think would be cool to have or make, let me know and you can collab on it. That's the whole point of this podcast, by the way. as a like a side quest to actually help people, put people on. If you guys have things to sell, come on the podcast. We'll make some videos and you can sell it here too. And that's all this will ever be, a medium to push other things that people who come on the pod want to sell. Always curious what other countries might be doing in their daily lives. Like I want to escape. I take an example from the Netherlands or Spain. Yeah. It's on a closed network, so they'll either go fishing or try some Ocean's 11 type shit. No, here's the thing about the Vegas Sphere. I'm like, it looks great from the sky when you're in a helicopter, but when you're up there close, it can't look as good because I'm imagining the pixels being giant. You know, it's one of those things that looks great from far away, but when you're in it, probably isn't. Whatever. But it would be interesting. Like, yeah, you definitely got to social engineer your way through. Maybe find someone who works on staff security, then probably hire an escort or something because it's Vegas. I think things like that you can do. And then maybe you might have to get some badges and then work your way to the network room or something. Their lives might be the same as Americans, but the quality is more alive. Yeah. I've been to Europe. It is a definitely more interesting way to live for sure. I'm sell my intellect for the low. That's her. How's it going? How's it going? That's her. No bio. You always want to see some parts of the world in your life. I tried. Here's the thing. I've never had like a craving to like go explore the world like some people seem to do, but I figured I might as well try. So I did. I did a Euro trip just before COVID, actually. Thankfully, got back home before the world shut down. But yeah, I did a Euro trip, visited 6 countries, 7 cities. Have I ever hired an escort before? No, I have not. But I did talk to one in the red light district in Amsterdam, and their prices are very reasonable. I didn't partake, but it was. I can understand why guys would. It's like for the prices, you get some pretty quality product for sure. It'd be funny as fuck. It would be. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, I don't know. It just surprised me, like how little they charge for what they do. I don't know. It was just blowing like 50 to 100 euros for some action, you know? It's surprisingly reasonable. Does that seem kind of low to you? I don't know. I did. Yeah, that's what she told me, but I don't know. I want to explore the world like the age of discovery. Yeah, where would you want to go, Barlos? Talk. I read and researched some history of the ages of discovery. Okay. Roth is in Germany, the best. I don't know. I was only in Germany. I was in Berlin for New Year's, and I only went for New Year's because they get crazy with fireworks. It got me thinking, what's it like for me to be part of these time periods? Yeah. Germany was great. Oh, you've been to Germany too? Yeah. I went to Berlin and Frankfurt. Frankfurt was boring, whatever. But Berlin, I went for New Year's Eve, and it was popping. Literally, like they were lighting fireworks, throwing them at people and stuff. It's a whole game that they play there, and the objective is to put out the firework before it explodes around everybody. And yeah, I almost got caught with a few. I went to my parents' home country. I heard the brothels in East Europe are top notch. I don't know. I didn't partake in any, so I can't say. Not that I would either, but I'm not judging if you do either. So it is what it is. You know what's interesting? I think it's easy for guys or for people to assume that men are the ones who partake in this stuff, but this whole kind of fun tourism is often frequented by women. You know, often they just go to like the Caribbeans or something. The Caribbean. Only place I like is an old Spanish city called Custo. It seems like I never seen much beauty like the cathedral. Yeah, I did check out a few cathedrals while I was in Europe. Architecture there is just different. Like you don't find those. It's hard to find things like that here in the U.S. Side eye, you do judge. No, I don't. Like you want to have fun, go have fun. I'm not judging. Like, do what you want to do. And yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. Like, ladies, if you found out your guy, here's the thing. I've heard some crazy things people have done here in the States. Here in the States, like you get your haircut and then finish off with a happy, I'm like, whoa, that's weird. That's hella weird. I don't know why anyone would do that, but hey, to each his own, I suppose. Um, do you guys want to admit right now how many of y'all actually messed around with that kind of stuff? And it'd be interesting because I think this would be an interesting street interview question too. Just go up to ladies and be like, all right, so some dudes are just freaky like that. Never? Okay. No, some dudes are. That's the thing. Like, I heard somebody on a YouTube video explain this. He's like a divorce lawyer. He's like 20-year divorce lawyer. He's explaining like some men should just not get married at all because they need the variety. And it's like, okay, like, yeah, some men just. My Riz always been top tier. It's not even about that. It's not about Riz. It's about, from what I understand, it's just like, why deal with the bullshit? If you just want to release, just go get it done and then move on. Then get back to your business, Obviously, it's not as fulfilling because I think part of that interaction that you can have with a woman is the bond you guys make together. And I think there's an element of that, even for men too, although we won't want to admit it. There is a connection that we end up having, not as extreme as with women, but it's still there. And so, like, even guys who pay for it, I think, understand that it's never as good as like when it's a genuine, consensual, mutual thing. I don't think anyone get married. I think marriage is about money. Nah, maybe for some people. You sound like you talking in first person. I like reading weird ass forums. Okay, Reddit is a wonderful place for information. You'll be surprised the kind of things you can learn. It's crazy. I can't verify the authenticity of a lot of the stuff I read, but some of it you can, and it's crazy. It's like some of the stuff people are going through and the things people explore. It's wild, man. It's wild. I just realized once you married your partner and yourself, going to be arguing in tension about bills, taxes, and insurance. Yeah, money does tend to be a problem sometimes in relationships, which, I mean, I guess if you have it within your means to not have money be a problem, then I think you're doing your marriage or whatever a good service. Reddit is Disney World for geeks and dudes that don't want to pay for OS subscriptions. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. But Reddit is great for like reviews and stuff all the time. Like anytime I want to find out how something is or some product or service or something, I always type whatever it is, Reddit, because you can get some real testimonials, or at least what seem like real testimonials with exceptional detail that you probably can't trust if it's a Google review, because people pay for Google reviews. No, I'm joking. I like Reddit. No, it's fine. Like Reddit is definitely a cesspool for a lot of like weirdos for sure, but there are pockets of useful information. Oh, the biggest issue is when my partner is tired of living with me. I think that's sort of like a demeanor kind of thing. I think that might require some personal work to understand. It's like, okay, well, either I'm making wrong choices about the type of person who I'm living with because we're just incompatible, or maybe there's something about me that's off-putting. Like that's the position I would take. Or it could just be you change, or she changes you, which women tend to do in relationships. They whittle you down slowly. Imagine you're just like this strong, pristine stone of marble, unflawed, unblemished. Okay, that's how you start off in a relationship, right? And then slowly, she with her pick, like thinking she's Michelangelo, is just knocking little chips here and there, thinking she's making a work of art when she's just turning it into a ugly boulder. Okay, and so constantly like chipping until you're no longer the pristine marble you once were. And then they're like, why did you they don't say why did you change, they just like, oh, I'm not feeling this anymore. It's like your job is to be like, nah, I'm staying the same. This is who I am. And that's what I'm that's my position on it. It's very difficult living with someone a long time and we get annoyed. That's my parents. Oh, okay, that sucks. But yeah, I just came up with that analogy. What do you guys think of that? We are stone that gets chiseled away by wannabe artists who suck at it. They don't chip away to make something beautiful. They just chip away and turn it into disfigurement. I think that's what's happening. But of course, maybe you ladies disagree. Hey, Will Seymour, what's up? How's it going? I don't know. What do you guys see on your end? Because I put TikTok shop up. Do you guys see any links or anything like that? Put a one in the chat if you see a link. I don't know. I'm gonna start paying attention to other people's lives to see if they do something like this. But yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have to click it. I just was testing it out. But if you do want a thin wallet, I'll hook you up for free, bro. If you want one, Kirko, or anybody else here. Yeah, like these are easy to make. I have a thing that can seal plastic and stuff. So if you guys want one, if you're into thin and light wallets, well, a lot of people want that Gucci. I remember in college, my college roommate comes from like a wealthier family, and he was getting a stipend from whatever. I don't know. It was weird. He just had some money coming in from whatever. And he's like, yo, he saw, I don't know why he was into brands or whatever. He's like, yo, let's get this Armani wallet. It was like $120 or something like that. I'm like, I'm a broke college kid. What the fuck? Why would I spend $120 for a wallet? That blew my mind, bro. That blew my mind. But yeah, he was into that shit. It was also funny because he asked his mom to help him with his Chinese homework. I was just like, he's calling his mom because he's Chinese by ethnicity and his mom speaks Mandarin or whatever. And so this guy, he literally called his mom to help him finish his Mandarin homework. I was just like, bro, this college. Whatever. It is what it is. He was a funny guy. He was a fun roommate for sure. It was also a funny experience because like I went to UC Irvine. If you're familiar with the campus, at least on student campus housing, they had a house called the Rosa Parks house. As you can imagine, it's where all the black students wanted to be. And somehow this guy, an Asian guy, got stuck in the black house, and he had me as the roommate. It was hilarious because it's like he enrolled for housing late, and they just put him wherever there was a spot, and there just happened to be a spot in the Rosa Parks house, and it happened to be with me. And I remember the first day when we were all meeting, like we go down the first floor, everyone's meeting each other. Obviously, he's this Asian guy around all these black people, right? He was assimilated around all these black people. And he's just like, and then we go up to our dorm room. He's like, yeah, man, I think I'm going to put in a transfer. He was just uncomfortable because he's not used to that, right? But he was lucky, though, because he had me as a roommate. And it turns out we got along really well. And as the days went by, he started getting along with all the other people in the house. But by then, he had already put in a transfer to go into a different house. But it took a while for that transfer to go through. And then finally, the housing office calls him up like a month later saying, oh, we got a spot for you in this other house. He's like, nah, I'm good. I like the people here. And he had me in his room. It was cool. We even talked about waterboarding each other at one point just to see how it felt. This was back in the when the whole waterboarding thing was an issue and it was in the news or whatever. And we're like, you know what? I wonder what that feels like. We never got around to it, but it would have been hilarious. Hey, how's it going? I don't know. I have some weird college stories. Nothing like crazy or partying or anything like that. But I do have some like just weird scenarios. Waterboarding is cool. I don't know. It would be cool to try, but dangerous. Maybe. I don't know. I definitely have some crazy stories already. What's your crazy story, bro? Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the wind tunnel lab building RC planes, like all the coursework. Yeah, a lot of study sessions. Yeah. College was fun. College was fun. In retrospect, I miss it because you get to study and build and be sort of have, and then also be around other people who basically are doing the same thing you're doing, but also have way more free time than you have when you're working, which doesn't feel like it when you're in it. Like you're always thinking like, oh, I'm busy with this, I'm busy with that. It's like, nah, once you leave college, you'll realize like you can actually be way more busier, especially when the stages of life start coming at you. So enjoy college while you're in it, Kirko. I know it's going to be hard. Some courses, some professors, maybe, but it's a great time to meet people. And it's also a great time to just learn and study while you have the time. That's what I would recommend for those of you in college right now. Waterboarding is cool. Yeah, okay. All right, you guys have any questions for me? Anything on your minds? I could just start talking some more as well. It is 9:47. I think I'll give this another 30 minutes or 45 minutes, I think. Maybe 45 minutes, and we'll call it an even 3 hours, I guess, or 2 hours. But yeah, I feel like I have to show this every now and then because of the TikTok shop. Like, I don't know what the rules are. I really don't. And I want to see if I can get other people to start selling this stuff. And I'm like, all right, what other things could I make, and see if this is a way to monetize a podcast. And then if I do that, then I can maybe do it for other people. And then if other people want to come on, or if they have other things, then I can actually help them with that. Actually, that whole time in Italy was crazy as fuck. I plan on going back. Oh, you spent some time in Italy? Take care of yourselves, drink and eat. I'm proud of you. Good job today. Keep your motherfucking head up. Bye. Have an amazing motherfucking week. All right. All right, Mr. JJ. What does JJ stand for? I'm the aggressively kind Mr. JJ. Motherfucker, work and grow. Keep your head up. You got a theme and you're sticking with it, so I appreciate it. I really fuck with the Joker, actually, for real. Like the Joker from the Batman. I know, like, he does a bunch of bad things, but the mindset I kind of appreciate. At least his position on people. Yeah, I appreciate you, Mr. JJ. But like that whole, like, everybody lies, everyone freaks out when it's not part of the narrative, but if it is, then everyone's okay with it, kind of thing. And like all people care about is money. And I just want to watch the world burn, you know. Like, you want to know how I got these scars? You know, like this whole, it's such a good movie, man. It's such a good movie. And yeah. But thank you for that, Mr. JJ. Deja, how's it going? Tequila. Yeah. All right, let's see. I've been posting some weird videos this week about like hacks I find, which I don't know. TikTok's a weird place. I don't know if like long term it's going to be somewhere I want to spend a lot of time, but I don't know. It's just interesting, some of the things that I've seen, but we'll see if I can like make it work for me. We'll see if that's a possibility. But yeah. Spent a lot of money drinking in Italy. I mean, I feel like Italy, what could you do in Italy? Obviously, it's wine country, right? So you're the Stitch King on TikTok right now. I'm trying, bro. Like, I got one video popped off of engineers. Maybe that's the audience I go for. Engineers. Hey, Tequila, how's it going? You drink a lot, bro? I don't. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", like 260-ish, I think. 250, 260, somewhere around there. But I am a lightweight. Yeah. Like, it doesn't take much for me to start feeling it. And yeah, like, so. And here's the thing, if I'm gonna drink, I really want to feel it. I don't care to be just like, I don't like beer. If I'm gonna do any kind of beverage, it's either gonna be a cider or some hard liquor, maybe like a Jack and Coke or something like that. But yeah, but I rarely drink, and it's only ever been socially, and it's been probably months, maybe 6 months, over 6 months, something like that. Hella long time. I drink a lot of tea though. Nah, they have bars over there too, just not as much American stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is it true that all they eat is pasta? Hey, Brookie Cookie, how's it going? Please tell me you bake. It's a me, a Mario. You know, I saw a TikTok video. I can't verify if this is real, but Itsumi is a Japanese word meaning super or superb. I don't know if that's true. Let me double check that right now because I'm not trying to do some misinformation out here. Japanese to English translator. It's me. Yeah, I think I'm Japanese. It's me. Oh, it all makes sense. Super Mario. It's me. Japanese to English. I don't know. I'll verify it. I saw that TikTok too. Oh, okay. There's hella pasta out there. Ali Kirko's profile picture surrounded by Nubian white queens, my boy. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Yeah, mind blown. Yeah. You remind me of Don Pollo. Who's Don Pollo? Don Pollo. Like how I said that, right? Who is this guy? Eesh. Okay. I didn't even remember that was my bio until you read that. must have been an all white party. Yeah. No, that's the thing. Any black guy in STEM is going to be surrounded by people who aren't black. It was true for me too. For my school, it was mostly Asians, but yeah, that's just the nature of being in STEM as a black guy or a black person, I guess. You're going to be one of few. I think my graduating class, 2% black in the engineering school, 2% black. Like in a class of 100 people, it was me and one other guy that was black. In a class of 50, I was the only black guy. And that was my senior aerospace, what was it, aeronautical engineering class? I forget. Wildest shit was Killer Mike concert. Here's the thing. I heard Lil Wayne mention this, just like I can't be mad at white people or hate white people or anything because those are my fans. Those are my audience. That's how I make money. It's from these people. Like, how can I say all these things about if these are my fans, And I understand it. It's just like, yeah, if you're in a majority white country, yes. Like, if you want to have any economic success publicly, at least large scale success publicly, yes, you're going to have to appeal to white people. Now, I don't think these people are doing it on purpose for that sake, but they're just making things that happen to that white people seem to fuck with, right? So, Killer Mike concert, he gets booked. Yeah, I don't know. Some of these rappers, I wonder, were like white people even, but I don't know. Killer Mike is the political guy, right? Asian women are extremely giving in my experience. Interesting. Is that true? I don't know. I don't think I've only ever been, with one Asian. So I can't say I have that success or that track record. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you know. I'm not sure how you know, but I don't listen to him. But one of the bros wanted to go. Oh, yours was Vietnamese? Oh, okay. Mine was Punjabi. He put on a solid show. Yeah, concerts are surprisingly good. I was never a concert guy. I think the first concert I ever, so I was never a concert guy. I never went to concerts. To me, rationally speaking, like, why would you want to go to a concert to listen to music? It's not going to sound as good because, you're going to be hearing through the crowd and the speakers and the venue, whatever. It's not going to be as good sound quality as what you can put on some quality headphones or whatever. I mean, you got to be in this place full of people, blah, 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 whatever. But then I won some tickets to a Beck concert. And Cage the Elephant were headliners. It was a Beck concert with Cage the Elephant. And I went to it. And that's kind of like the music I like listening to a lot of the time, or at least at the time. Went to the concert, it was lit. And then the lead singer of Cage the Elephant ended up body surfing all the way back to the lawn. So literally a wave of people jumps off stage. Then literally everyone's just carrying him all the way to the lawn. And it was just like, man, it was crazy to watch. Beck, BC, is it BCK? Yeah, Beck. Beck. You don't know who Beck is? Dreams, dreams, dreams. You don't know that song? In a bunch of commercials? No knew Beck until Kanye. Oh, for real? Yeah. Beck is good. It's good shit. He's that white guy, right? Yep. He is that white guy. It's good songs. And it was a good show. And it's like, oh, okay, it's a performance. Got it. And then was the next concert I went to. I don't really go to concerts like that, but I went to a Bruno Mars concert once. My girl really wanted to go. And we went, and really good show, by the way. Really, really good show. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Have I ever been to a rap concert? No, not purposely went to a rap concert for the sake of watching someone rap. But I did go to a comedy show, a Dave Chappelle comedy show, and he brought Black Star as like the middle entertainment between Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. And so, and I was like, why the fuck would anyone want to go to a rap concert like this? Because it's like you could barely hear. Maybe the music and the speakers weren't tuned for rapping, but I couldn't hear anything that they were saying. Now, if it was a JPEG Mafia concert, I would go. I would definitely go because that shit's got to be lit, bro. I've seen some of this stuff on YouTube. I'm like, yo, that shit would be wild. So I'd go for the experience or something like that, some like a smaller venue type thing. But I don't know if I'd go to like a giant hall, whatever. A Yeezy concert would be cool too, or a Ye concert. I've heard of Dave bringing rappers to perform at his shows. Yep, yeah, it was Talib Kweli and Mos Def, or Yassine Bey, I guess. They were there, and it was cool. Yeah, it was cool to see. It's like they're singing the songs everybody knows, but you can't hear the lyrics because it's just the speaker system wasn't tuned for that. And it was in an arena or whatever. So I was like, I'm trying to go to a Kanye concert. Yeah, I fuck with Kanye for sure. Like that would be dope. Or no, it would be cool to go to one of his Sunday services. That would be even cooler, I think, because the music is beautiful and you get to exercise some faith, and that would be cool too. But yeah, Kanye concert. I don't know what. Yeah, the Sunday service would be cool. Oh man, what happened to him? Yay. Is he in the news? Did he get his Twitter account back? Or I mean his X account back? Kanye West sues over music leaks on Instagram. Probably fake news. Kanye will be featured on new song Israel. That's fucked up. Why are they using Kanye? He wants to be called Ye. See, this is what they do. They're dead naming him. You see what they're doing? They're dead naming him. That's fucked up. Oh my God. So if you're black and you're disfavored, then what? This dead naming isn't a problem anymore? You see this is how you know they're not serious. You see, you find all these things just like, oh, okay, all the shit they've been telling us, nah, they're lying. They're lying for sure. Oh man, this is some fucked up shit. He's not Kanye. It's like, Ye sues over music leaks on Instagram. Ye to be featured on a new song called Israel. Like, yeah. All right, so the Jerusalem Post actually properly uses his name. Ye to release track Israel about meeting the devil. Okay, maybe, yeah, whatever. Yeah. That's crazy. Which is funny. I think the next product I'm gonna make after this one is like I did some 3D printing and I made some leather stamps, or like I printed some stamps out that I could press into some leather, and so I made a logo. This was back in the day when Kanye did that whole meeting with Trump and everything, and then he and everyone was going crazy. It's like, oh my God, how could you talk to Trump, blah blah blah. And this was back in the day when people did not do that at all. Now you see, every now and then you'll see a black guy like fuck with Trump or whatever. But back in the day, it was not a thing people did. And Kanye was the first one. And then he goes on SNL, gets invited, and he's like, we're all in the sunken place. And then he talks about, I'm going to put my Superman cape on. And then he puts the MAGA hat, obviously. And I was like, yo, that's kind of a flex, not going to lie. And so I made this logo, Superman logo, basically the shape, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the Pentagon, the Superman Pentagon, except instead of the letter S, I put MAG, like, because I remember when he went to the Oval Office to talk to Trump, he was like, see, what black people have a problem with the again part, because when you say make America great again, people are like, what do you mean by again? Do you mean like back in slavery, whatever? Which is stupid, but that's what people interpret it as. So he's like, yeah, maybe just get rid of the again part. And so then I made a whole Superman logo with MAG, Make America Great, and then turned it into a whole thing, put it on a beanie. It was cool. It was cool. You're going to make a great husband because you're bald. You'll have beautiful daughters and athletic sons. That'd be cool, I guess. I was mad as fuck because he said all that shit and didn't drop Yandi. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Ye's a wild dude. He's a wild dude, but I made that thing for myself. So maybe like next year, if 45 ends up like possibly gets a chance of being 47, then maybe I can make some money that way. Who's hotter in your opinion, Beyonce or Jay-Z? Interesting question. Aren't they the same person? Aren't they the same person? No, I'm not a Beyonce or Jay-Z fan. I'm not sure why people like Jay-Z. I know there's like, oh, rapper, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, bro. It's just like he's more about the money. For a question, they are. Exactly. See, I know where you're coming from, Blank. I know where you're coming from. We're your people. I just want him to drop music and Yeezys, bro. I do not care about the extra shit. But the extra shit is the reason why he is who he is. I haven't posted this video yet. I'm working on the script for it, but I'm basically going to explain in this video that you can't pick and choose the parts of people that you want. Like Kanye is a revolutionary musician, and he's a fashion designer, artist, creative type in the most extreme way. Of course, a person like this will have some extreme positions. They come together. You can't have one without the other. And so like these characters that we like admonish because of the negative parts of their personality, it's like it's the yin to the yang of the good stuff. It all comes together. You can't just pick and choose. Like Steve Jobs was this what do they call it? Reality distortion field. He had this big sort of vision and grand ideas for the way people should live and the way people can live with technology. And no one, sometimes people would resist that vision. And so it's no wonder he was a fucking asshole, because you kind of have to be if you are going to be insistent on creating this new world that you envision in your head. And so they come together. Oh, Joshua. Hey, man. How's it going? Forgot that I just catching up here. Yitler concert. Yitler Sunday service. His name is Yitler. Stop, dude. That's true. Yeah. So that's the thing. I don't judge people. It's just like, yeah, they're going to be assholes. You want these people to do amazing things. Yes, it comes like, that's just the way it comes. It's like, you're not going to find people who are good in one extreme in one arena that you really like without being extreme in other areas. Like even me, like I have some crazy shit that I say. Yes, but I'm also radically honest. Like, it is what it is. And yeah, a lot of the times some people come on these lives and they're like, no, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. And how could you? I'm like, I'm just calling it like I see it. And that's it. Now, hopefully one day it would be great to have that kind of influence just to build the world I wish to see. Not for the sake of the fame, whatever. If I didn't have to put my face out here to grow a movement or at least an audience, I wouldn't. But this is the only way I've figured out to do it so far. I wish it could have been someone else that I work with or who wants this, but I mean, I have to do it because it's the only way this thing's going to grow. I think that's an excuse. Mostly men use it as a way to ignore other people's feelings. Here's the thing: a lot of people's feelings are illegitimate. That's my default position. A lot of people feel a lot of things they shouldn't be feeling, and you know, it's we have a bias. I don't know where this came from, but we have a bias to take every feeling seriously. It's just like, man, no, I don't think that's appropriate at all. Now, can you say there are certain contexts when you should? Absolutely. There are always going to be. But a lot of the time it's like this feminine view of emotions. And I don't know, I think men have a different take on this stuff that I think we should employ more. And Pirate his music. I just want him to stop lying about dropping album. Yeah, that's the thing. Like a creative, you got to be. You can't really. I don't know. Yeah, the whole thing. I don't know if he's lying because I've tried making music. I'm not gonna say I'm even close to like. I'm not saying I'm like Kanye or whatever, but I understand the whole creative stuff. Like, if you're creative, if you make anything, you understand it's not like you're coming up with things. It's almost like you're channeling something from the universe, kind of thing. You could call it godly, you could call it divine, you could call it karma or the universe, I guess you can call it that. But what it actually is just some connection with something in the ether. And when that creativity strikes, then you can make moves and it just happens. And other times you just don't have that connection anymore. I think Pharrell has a video where he explains this whole creative process. Like when you have that connection, use it because you don't know how long it's going to last. And I get into those zones sometimes too when I'm just on it. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I don't even know how I made that. And then like after I make it, days, weeks, months later, I look at that stuff and I'm like, how the fuck did this come out of me? And it's crazy. Yes, they do. But we're not talking about everyone. We're talking about the people who want to change the world. Okay, that's fair. I think a lot of it is like perhaps gaslighting themselves, maybe. Like, I do believe like it's so easy to justify things to yourself when you have some sort of grand vision for things. You're like, all right, I'm doing it for this greater purpose. Maybe this is the problem that Bankman-Fried, right? Sam Bankman-Fried got himself into, like this whole effective altruism, and I'm doing this thing to make the world better, so anything can be justified. So I can see where you're coming from, Joshua, if that's the context you mean. You get into Pharrell like zones. All right, I think that's a joke, but no, I mean like I do have sparks of creativity where I'm just on it. That doesn't happen to you. Like I have to make my own albums out of leaked music and shit. For real. What do you use? Where do you get the music from, Kirko? Oh shit, Gabby Goshlin. I'm not an NPC, so if you're expecting me to do stuff, I'm not going to. But I do appreciate all these items. I appreciate it. Thank you. I guess I'm not sure what they mean, but wow. Okay. Gang, 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 gang. Oh, gang, gang. There it was. I'm not gonna do NPC stuff. What is it that you said, Jose? Like, I don't want people screen recording this. I'm not an NPC. Yeah, dude. Like, they won't stop. Allegedly from file sharing firms. Allegedly, yeah, that's good cover for sure. So I guess you're big into music if you're gonna go theoretically go into forums like this to find music. I've never been that big into music where I'm like, oh, I just want to see some Kanye or whatever stuff. But yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm finishing up an app to download videos or audio from YouTube. Just went through code signing the app. Now I'm just trying to figure out this like archive package issue, but I'm gonna give it away on my other account. And appreciate it, Gabby Goshlin 3, for the support. I feel loved, I guess. But yeah, app development, it's interesting. I didn't know that you actually need permission. Like code signing's a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, my first real job in high school was assistant engineering at a record recording studio. Nice. Okay. You get to work with any cool artists? Yeah. Oh no. Should I do an NPC stream? Like, just like, hey guys. I don't know. There's this one dude who just like, I don't know if you guys know him. He's a white guy and he's just like doing the all that. I was just like, oh God, that's hard to watch, man. That is so hard to watch. A grown ass man go, what do you call it? Like throating some hot dogs or whatever. It's just weird to see, man. I'm just like, anything for money, huh? Apparently, people are getting a bag off this live stuff. No, no, I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not prepared. I'm trying to sell these transparent wallets so you can get whatever. So today's stream is just that's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. And yeah. Just do an NPC stream. Yeah. Goblin the glizzies. Is that really the term? Yeah, some major labels would book time for their artists. Oh, nice. Cool. Was there like an NDA kind of thing? Do you have any stories about like some certain artists that maybe people don't know that would be cool to share? Here's the thing. I've chosen to make money in certain ways, to monetize this in certain ways. I know I can make money off of the reaction stuff, taking the viral videos of today, downloading them, because if you just do a stitch, you can do up to a minute. Otherwise, if it's longer than a minute, then the sound's not going to be included, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. Which sucks because, like, as you know, to get money from the creativity beta, it has to be over a minute. But you sort of have to download the video and then paste it as a thing and then talk over it and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't like taking other people's content like that outside of the rules. And plus, I'm trying to learn how to make content myself that can go viral by itself. And so that's part of the growth, the pain of learning how to do all this. But yeah, no, I want to be able to make money in an honest way, not an honest, because I mean, NPC is honest money, but in a more fulfilling way. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But I use this so I can sell this. And if I can figure out how to sell this, then I can figure out how to sell other things or for other people who need a platform and just don't have the reach. And that's what table moments could be, which is the theoretical idea behind all this, to help put people on and help people grow and stuff like that. Are you a salesman? I have to be. I mean, that's what content is, man. Like, at least that's the approach I'm doing. I'm not a salesman, but I'm learning how to be. I can build, but I don't know how to sell yet. So that's what I've been trying to figure out, how to sell. Like, those of you who work in tech, you probably know Naval Ravikant. For those of you who don't know, he's like this VC money type guy turned philosopher. And he has this whole podcast series and even book where he explains how to get rich without getting lucky. And he has this whole like bunch of principles he follows. And one of the things he mentions is like, if you can learn to build and learn to sell, you can take over the world. What I've been spending a lot of my time is learning how to build. And now I got to learn how to sell. And if I can figure out both of those, then I'm unstoppable. And part of this content stuff is selling, like learning the kind of things that resonate with people, and then seeing if I can grow an audience and what resonates, and then grow that way. So, yeah, that's a real question. I wouldn't consider myself a good one, but you make content though, so you understand at least sort of like what resonates with people. For me, I was starting from a point of like not understanding people at all. And slowly, with every video that I post every day, I'm slowly understanding what people like, the kind of topics. I know when you talk about money, relationships, or health, people really, really fuck with that kind of content because it has broad appeal. It's one of the things, those are the three things that a lot of people have on their mind all the time. Now, there are certain niche things, like if you're going into entertainment, in comedy, funny works really well. If it has facts, feelings, and fun, content that includes all three, then it has the broadest appeal. So like these prescriptive ones where I tell people not to be a certain way or something, don't do that well because people don't want to hear that. So it's just this whole thing like you learn. Salesman skills are super valuable. Some people are just born with it, but I can believe you can learn how. Yeah, you can learn to a point to get up to competence, but yeah, some people are just born for this shit. And especially like salesmen who are so used to the rejection. Like actually going up to people trying to sell things, even like door-to-door stuff, I respect a lot because most of the time you're getting no's. And to be able to take no's constantly and not let it affect you takes a sort of like kind of mindset. Or maybe they're just built a certain way that where like rejections do not bother them at all. And it turns out if you can get to a point where that you can be that, then you're kind of set up for life too, because a lot of life is a lot of rejection and still pushing through. This is true when you're like building stuff, even online, doing videos like this, where, you know, so a lot of the times, most of the time, like 90% of the time I post a video, it's not getting more than 200 views. And you know this, Jose. Like you post content on TikTok, like you could be in that 200 view death spiral where just video after video and getting looks. And so that's why the approach I've been taking is just like, all right, I can do stitches. I can give some commentary. And then also I'm going to continue doing the whole daily video things where I actually edit them. What about people that have thrown out the fear of shame? There's a ton of value in that also. Yep. Like shame and embarrassment is a tool used to control us. And if you can get rid of that, you will be free. And it's surprising the things that you could do. Like maybe try to sell a clear wallet on TikTok Live. Who would do that other than a guy who's learned how to get rid of embarrassment? Okay. I know it's quality shit because I made it myself. I use this every day. I like the convenience of being able to, if I ever get carded, I could show my, or tap to pay, boom, tap to pay. And then obviously the flex for the girls, but not really. Like if I have a barcode, Planet Fitness, scan it, whatever. I like this. I like thin and light wallets because I like having a front pocket, but it's a crazy idea that you can sell a transparent wallet or even try to. But yeah, kill your embarrassment, kill whatever shame. And it turns out you can try a bunch of shit and you never know what can work. So that's always been my mindset with it. Like maybe start a podcast and you've never started a podcast before. Maybe start talking on videos, giving commentary about the things that are on top of your mind. Who knows? Maybe start a live stream. Like a year ago, literally, I'm coming up on a year of live streaming. Actually, just past a year, I think. And I only started because I was like, it's worth learning. It's worth learning to be able to speak off the top of my head. Maybe entertain some people, a handful of people across different platforms. Who cares? Let's try it. And I could do that because I've slowly been whittling away this embarrassment and shame that can come from trying new things. So I do encourage it for a lot of people. Stuff seems to blow up randomly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some like algorithmic games being played sometimes, but there's also you can influence it for sure. You can influence it. The quality of the content, the things like there's this guy, Ryan on TikTok. I forget his last name. It starts with the M or something. Social media guy. He does content for a lot of other people, short form stuff. And I think he explained it the best that I've ever heard is like, first you have to talk about a topic that can go viral. So there has to be an element about that. So that's usually like picking the right topic. If it's about money, health, relationships, those things can do really well. Or if it's like secrets about a trade or some interesting facts that people should know that's contrary to people's expectations, then you know that kind of thing can go viral. Then too, you need to have someone who can deliver that content. And then if those things are true, then it has a good chance of going viral. And then what this guy actually does is take a clip that he's cut up and change the hook. So the hook has to be really good. You should probably spend 90% of your time on the hook, because it doesn't matter how good your video is. If you can't get him in the first 3 seconds, they won't see the rest of it. They won't see the rest of it. And it wasn't until like literally a few days ago where it finally clicked for me how important the hook is. And I've never given it much thought. I usually just think of something and then I just post it. But like the hook is really important because that's the thing that sets everything else. I'm actually reading a book right now called, show it to you guys, How to Write a Good Advertisement by Victor Schwab, a short course in copywriting. And basically here they talk about like the first thing, get attention. And they talk about headlines and good headlines. Is the $100 bill included, or is that false advertising? Read the description. I write in there, money's not included. So clearly you didn't read it. But like good headlines, like some examples here. This is an old book, but it's still relevant, I think. Like the first headline they go over, like 100 good headlines and why they're so profitable. So the first one is the first headline: the secret of making people like you. That line will make people read because it's a desire people have to be liked by others. Another one is a little mistake that cost a farmer $3,000 a year. That's a really good hook because one, it's framing to the right people, farmers. It throws a big number in there and then also talks about a mistake because people have a strong loss aversion. When you talk about a mistake to avoid, it feels a lot worse to lose something than it is to gain something. And so by writing it that way, it's something that sparks interest. And so there's a bunch of other stuff in it. Like this headline, you guys should all know: how to win friends and influence people. And that book and title, it's a famous book now. So it's like this whole thing. Yeah. So hooks are really important, and I should be even more deliberate than I am now. But like, yeah, hooks really important. The topic has to have the potential to go viral. It has to be edited in a way, and then do variations. And you could go viral. Oh, damn. I got 9 minutes left, guys. So feel free to ask whatever questions you guys have. I got that book. I haven't read it yet. Yeah, it's a weird because it's an old book, so it's hard to like. Yeah, I got a decent way through it. I don't know. Do you guys ever buy books and never get around to reading them? That happens to me a lot of the time, unless it's like a book that I can't put down. Like Shoe Dog was the most recent one I read, and man, I couldn't stop reading the book. I don't know. It's such a good book. I don't know what it is. It was just easy to read, I guess. But right now, I'm really liking this Ryan Holiday book. I read his other book about. Do you guys remember Gawker? Yeah, Shoe Dog is fire. Yeah, it is fire. It'd be an interesting movie. I know they made the whole movie. What's the topic tonight? Right now, we're talking about books. So if there's any book recommendations, Curried, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm reading this book right now. Trust me, I'm lying. But I was just about to bring up his other book, The Story of Gawker, and Hulk Hogan and a sex tape, and how Conspiracy it's called, I think. Yes, the book is called Conspiracy, and how Gawker was taken down by Hulk Hogan and a silent benefactor that turned out to be Peter Thiel, the billionaire PayPal mafia dude, who funded Hulk Hogan's case against Gawker. But yeah, books. We're talking about books right now. I know it's boring for a lot of TikTok, but it's what I'm on. That's what I'm on right now. The book that predicted fake news, revised and updated for these terrifying times. Dude, it's crazy some of the shit he's done, just in the dark arts of exploiting the media. And so I wonder, I think it'd be funny if I could pull something off, but like in today's time, see if there's something I can go stupid viral about something, maybe like some controversy about me in particular, and see if I can get myself canceled, sort of canceled, but get so much attention for table moments and make all this stuff, maybe get a Wikipedia page at some point, which I always meant to do. I think I'm going to get back. I'm going to think about doing that. How's your week been? Great. Oh, okay. Peter's just mad that Elon got more clout than him. I don't think so. I think Peter likes being in the. It's weird saying shadows, but I think Peter likes his role. Like, yeah, I don't think they. I wonder what it was like though. Like when it was Confinity and X starting to become PayPal. I read. I have another book called Founders: The Stories of Startups and Stuff, And one of the co-founders of the PayPal Mafia talks about, I think his name is Levchin or something, where he talks about some of the things that happened during the PayPal process. Like, I don't know if people realize, like, PayPal sending money through email was not their original idea. And I think this is the thing people don't understand about like these startups. Like the original idea is usually crazier than the idea they end up going with, but they never would have gone with the main idea that they ended up going with if they never started with the crazy idea. They always get funded on some crazy ideas. So like with PayPal, the idea was Palm Pilots. And you would send money via Palm Pilot. They had this like radio signal thing that you can send. But at the time, like in the late 90s, Palm Pilots weren't that popular. I mean, obviously it's a new product, handheld device, whatever. And the idea that, and they're like, ooh, what if you could send money to each other? Just like sort of like how Cash App works, except they were going to do this through some radio signal between devices. And that was originally PayPal. That's what it was going to be. And the whole sending money through email was just a side benefit of this. They're like, oh yeah, we also built this thing. It's cool. Some people on this website called eBay use it a lot, but that's not our main product. And then it turns out that eBay product, that PayPal product, email sending money through mail, started blowing up on eBay because people were like, oh my God, this makes commerce online so much easier. Oh my God. And so they decided to make that pivot away from Palm Pilots to sending money through email. And then they had this whole dilemma of like fraudulent transactions, which is a big thing in banking, big thing. And so they had to develop this whole like identification system, like some software stuff to figure out like, okay, can we detect the likelihood of a transaction being fraudulent versus legitimate? And because there's so many transactions they were processing, they had to come up with a smarter way to sift through it. So they came up with this whole filtering system, algorithmic, whatever, based on patterns of behavior or whatever. And that's what they ended up using to identify. They ended up using that software for the other Palantir, which is the defense information type thing, working for the government to catch terrorists and stuff. That's how they did it, using information. Yeah, you start at some insane goal and then end up somewhere in the middle. Yeah, pretty good. Been traveling a lot lately, so this week might not be so fun because I'm back home. Damn. Imagine transferring money through pages. I mean, yeah, we transfer money through smartphones now, but like it's crazy. Like that was the original idea. That's what they got funded on. And then Elon was starting his own company with his brother, I think, doing basically this whole sending money through email kind of thing. And they realized they were competing with each other. And then they were going to drive each other's costs. They would be competing all the profit away if they kept competing. So they decided, you know what? Truce, let's combine into one company. And that's how the PayPal Mafia came together. And Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1, is really good because he talks about like monopolies and why it's important to like competition makes everyone poor. And if you want to be rich, you have to find a monopoly somehow. And the guy plays chess and shit. So he realized this whole idea of competing with each other was going to be bad for both of them. So they merged the companies. It made more sense to consolidate. Yeah. And it worked out for them. I think they ended up selling to eBay, but it's interesting. Like I always studied the history of a lot of these startups, like Airbnb. People are like, oh, the idea of renting out a room. The original idea, do you know why it's called Airbnb? Do you know? It's because this is the crazy idea they came up with. When there's like a convention or some event in some town and all the hotels are booked, there's nowhere to stay. And so they're like, you know what? What if you could rent air beds in people's homes and sleep there? That was the idea. Air beds, Airbnb. That's where the air comes from air beds. That was the idea. And eventually they realized through experiences with customers and stuff like that, customers were asking, you know, it'd be cool if I could just rent out my apartment when I'm not in town. They're like, oh my God, that's the idea. And even the idea of like letting a stranger spend time in your apartment or home was a crazy idea back in the day, but people have grown to accept it. Yeah, everybody became billionaires. Yeah. And then Yeah, a lot of the PayPal, everyone in the PayPal mafia ended up doing some pretty dope things too. A couple of guys ended up starting this website where they host videos that people make themselves. You might have heard of it, called YouTube. They started that. Obviously, Peter Thiel did Palantir and using information to catch terrorists. And then now it's used to get insight into companies and stuff. So if companies, it's like this whole collaboration using their software and people to be able to get insight into your own company in deep and interesting ways that you can't do without their software. Who else? Obviously, Elon with Tesla, SpaceX, all that stuff. It's crazy. Going back to Shoe Dog, how Nike got started was crazy. Yeah, Nike is crazy too. Just like deals, like that's crazy. Just selling it door to door, selling it out of your car. Phil Knight doing that stuff because he was just passionate about running and running shoes and superior running shoes. And then partnering with a coach, his old coach, to do it. It's a crazy story, guys. It's a good read just to understand like how Nike even got started and what it's really about. I don't know, kind of changed my perspective on Nike for sure. Because before I just thought they were overpriced shoes. Jeff Johnson was the real unsung hero for sure. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, in the book, Jeff Johnson was basically like the guy who did all the things that needed to be done in order for Nike to become the business it was, or it became, at least in the early days. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. So it's weird they made the movie about like landing Jordan, but I think a movie about the whole story of Nike would be, I think, more interesting to me. Maybe not interesting to a lot of people because obviously like people care about Jordan, the brand, whatever. But the story of Nike, I think is cool. Like it would be the type of movie kind of like The Big Short, I think. Like it only appeals to a certain type of person. Like I remember when The Big Short first came out, I did go to the theaters to watch it because I like the whole idea of like the history of finance and the whole 2008 housing crash and how a small group of people were able to make money off of it because they saw this coming, even though in retrospect it should have been obvious to everybody that this thing was going to happen. And so I went to the theater and it's filled with just older people, like in their 50s, whatever, except there was one person who was my age, around my age, and it happened to be a coworker. He's a smart guy, and it turns out we like the same stuff. Real people will probably cancel Phil for his relationship with Penny. What was up with the relationship with Penny? I don't remember. Penny? Well, what did he do? What should I eat first, dragon fruit or star fruit? I've never had either. I don't know. Jordan is overrated. I'd definitely be more interested in the story behind Nike. Yeah, the story behind Nike, like it was a grind. It was a grind. Like, and that's the reason why I think it's recommended for people to read that book if you want to get into entrepreneurship, is just understanding grit, like all the bullshit you're going to deal with, and it's just constant. Like if you want to grow and you want to be super successful, it's going to be it's going to be a very risky journey, and a lot of things are going to go wrong, and you're going to have to move fast, and you're going to be on the edge of a lot of things, and you just got to, hopefully everything works out. Oh, yeah. That was a common thing, wasn't it? Back in the day, professors always found their wives were former students. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I remember I had an engineering professor. What's his name? Damn, I forget it. But he's basically like this figure in aerospace engineering. He worked for Boeing, whatever, as like a consultant or something like that. But he would teach our class in the evenings while working during the day at Boeing. And apparently, he met his wife. His wife was like a grad student he taught at some point. And in one lecture, he was mentioning like, yeah, this wasn't. I don't know. Everyone's getting super weird about stuff, but like this was a thing people did. That's how your parents met too? Yeah, that sucks for a lot of these. I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel about it? Like if you're a girl in college, would you feel weird dating a professor after the class? Yeah, it's pretty common. Like, here's the thing. Like, you wonder why? Maybe we just stumbled on something interesting. maybe the reason why the marriage rate has dropped, because these places where people used to meet their spouses are no longer valid places to find your spouse. So like this whole like grad student with a young assistant professor type thing, or even in work. So like in workplaces, like no one wants to get canceled, no one wants to get me too, whatever. But generally people used to meet each other at work too, and then they would get into relationships, and then that's how they started families. But that doesn't happen anymore because no guy's gonna fuck with his wallet for a chance at possibly, like who would do that? And so like two avenues that people used to find spouses just isn't a viability anymore because of fear, driven by fear, for good reason, I think. But and so like when people are complaining about how like, the marriage rate is dropping or whatever, it's like you killed the avenues of opportunity to find a spouse. Church, I guess, but like, I mean, like when you're in the pews, are you hollering at a girl? You know, I don't know. That's not, a lot of people aren't even like Christians too. So how would they meet each other? That's the thing. Like, I don't know. That's that's interesting. Who loses out more with this situation, men or women? I don't know. I don't think men mind being alone, but women, I think, suffer more if they're alone. Weird. Social gatherings. Yeah. But even then, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it's like out here for guys anymore. Just like, man, it's so, with all this sensitivity stuff, they've made it impossible for men to be comfortable doing anything forward. So it's only the men who don't mind embarrassment, any backlash, or rejection publicly that can actually pursue. And generally, if you're that type of person, you might be a bit of an asshole. Um, so many different aspects. Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? Where would people meet? And then I think there's a TikTok video talking about third places where people used to hang out that wasn't like work or home, and those are gone too. So we don't even have places like that where the community just hangs out. So like that's why, like, if any woman asks me like where do you meet people, yeah, online, I would tell them just do online dating. That's how you meet people. Like people aren't really out there. And then like typically people aren't just going to venues or places by themselves to be social. I don't think this is something women typically do either, where they'll just go out by themselves with the purpose of meeting people. There are, of course, some women out there like that, but generally it's not something that I think women do, nor men do, but I think women. School, that's about it. Yeah. So like if you don't find somebody in school, you're kind of screwed. I get asked when I'm getting married, and my twin brother never does. Yeah. I think it's more worried about women because, I mean, I guess the expectation is you want to eventually start building a family, and whether or not you like it, there's a clock, but maybe it's not for you. So I got a lot of friends getting engaged right now and haven't even graduated yet. Well, good for them, I guess. But good for them, yeah. There's an app called Meetup where meet up to do things together. Yeah. But I don't know if, yeah, because like, but if you're trying to meet someone in a romantic context, like Meetup, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like if you're going to be meeting up with a bunch of people, I guess if you mean just to be social or whatever, which I guess is a possibility, but um, typically, I don't know. You don't want to run into a catfish now online. That happens every now and then. I've been catfished once, and then I learned my lesson. I'm like, okay, now I know what to look for. Then again, it's engineering school, so they think differently. Yeah. Wait, let's see. Yeah, probably. Well, it had to start somewhere. Yeah, it does. But yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough out here now. I guess, and people don't even want to use dating apps anymore because they've become shitty too. So now Instagram has become the primary platform for a lot of people, I guess. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know what people are going to do. Like, it's got to suck. It's got to suck. So, yeah, if anyone ever asks me, like, how do I meet people? Online dating. Yeah, you just got to learn how to play the game, I guess. That's how people meet now. Dudes got turned into gym cells. Yeah, that's true. Like I went to the gym yesterday, a bunch of dudes on a Friday, or was it yesterday? Oh yeah, it was Saturday. So I guess it was a bunch of dudes doing that. Face to face, I say, is the best. Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I was on the dating apps, like I always pushed for a T date all the time. Just like, all right, you seem like you got good energy. Keep it in under 10 texts. I can set up a date. And I don't even bought, I used to get their number. You know, like some of the advice people give for dating apps is like, all right, guys, you got to get her off the app as soon as possible because if she stays on the app, you're in competition with all the other dudes there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's a waste of time. Getting her number, then you have to put it in your phone, and then you got to text her some more shit. It's just like, no, just set the date. Just set the date. And I realized people are not asking to meet up in person, which blew my mind. But that's apparently what happens. And so if you like set up, like exchange a few texts here and there, it's like, figure out your script, fellas. Find a thing that you can send to all the girls. And then when the vibe is right, hit them with the day, time, place. We're going to meet at this Starbucks at 7 p.m. On this day, and spell out the day because you don't know when she's going to read it. So to make sure it's all clear, and then boom, you'll get dates easy that way. It's super straightforward once you figure it out, because people just aren't meeting up. So like you set yourself apart by just saying, let's meet up in person and not wasting a bunch of time talking, which apparently a lot of guys are doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's a waste of your time and her time. If they refuse, it could be a possible catfish. No. Here's the thing. There's certain things, like another rule for dating apps is expect a 1 to 2 point drop when you meet her in person, because women always use pictures that look better than they actually do. Now, there are exceptions for sure, and I've ran into those exceptions, but that's generally the rule, 1 to 2 point drop. And if you can live with a 1 to 2 point drop, then you're good. And then obviously be careful with like MySpace angles and like, you know, like doing pictures like that, you know, like girls do that. Yeah. Be careful with those. They're hiding stuff. Or if you don't see any body pictures, okay, I know what you're doing. I know people using Bumble just for on campus, bro. For real? Okay. Like Bumble has that whole like friends feature too. I never used it, but you think people are using it for that, or are they using it to actually like? Huh. I don't know. It'd be interesting if you built like a school-specific dating app. Maybe that would be an interesting project. Like you build a standard dating app that can apply to any school, and it's restricted to the school. So you have to sign up with your school email address, and then you can meet people that way. That would be interesting. And then you could repurpose that code for different campuses. You know what I mean? And so like so maybe we can actually solve this whole like dating thing, getting people together on these apps on campus. So that'd be cool. Or you could just not be comfortable with how they look. Okay. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, here's the thing. Anytime I went on a date with a girl and I noticed certain things about her look. The way I treated dates was just, you get a chance to meet somebody new. That's it. No expectations. It's not about like getting laid or anything like that. It's just meeting up with a stranger to see if you guys vibe. That's it. And if you don't, then it was just a simple cup of tea that cost $3.50. It didn't break the bank. And obviously you show up first, bring a book, buy your drink. So she ends up showing up usually 5 to 10 minutes late. And when you get to say hi, whatever, she'll notice you have a drink already and go and get herself her own drink. And so you're not paying for her either. So that's a hack just for you guys. If you don't want to spend money on these girls. Also, if you want to spend less than $3.50, you could do this. Go to Starbucks and then bring your own tea bag. And Starbucks, if you ask them for a cup of hot water, they'll give it to you for the cost of the cup, which is I think 25 cents. So your dates could literally cost 25 cents if you wanted it to. So just think about it. I'm giving good riz here, good game, but you know, whatever. It is what it is, if you know what I mean. Yep. Yeah. You got to keep it simple and then find your spot. I've been to Starbucks where people, you know what? I think it'd be hilarious if you pick one date spot where you take all the girls and you sit at the same spot every time and you wear the same clothes every time to get the barista to know your order too. He just like, yeah, I got a Latina coming over today. Yeah. Last week was cool, but it is what it is. Chalupa stinks. You seem like a good kisser, honey. Uh, wow, interesting profile picture, but okay. Yeah, honestly, honestly, sounds like an easy moneymaker. Just remake OG Facebook and restrict it to .edu emails. Yep, it'd be easy to build. I think I could actually build it if I wanted to. Oh man, the hard part is the marketing. So you got to figure out the marketing. Apparently there's this app called Gas that takes this approach when building social media apps. They test in smaller markets like high schools and stuff, and they create like a Facebook page for the school. Then they follow all the students at that school, and then when they release the app, everyone sees this app at the same time, and it could be a whole thing, And so you got to figure out the marketing before you build. But the building part isn't that hard. It's just a matching algorithm, right? Which isn't that hard. You just gotta, and it's a smaller population, so you don't have to worry about scale that much. It's a few thousand users, you know. So that'd be interesting. And then you could just make new instances, maybe Docker files or something. I don't know. I've never used Docker, so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass right now. But yeah, just make new instances of this code and just relabel it. Maybe the school could do it, and you could sell it to the school, so you could get money up front and be like, hey, we'll run this. Just add an extra $1 to everyone's tuition. And if they have a few thousand students, you get a few thousand from that school, and you just do it for each school. Random question. What do you use to shave your head? I use razor, Amazon razor, one of their basic ones, nothing special. We had a couple high school only apps that got shut down in like a few months. Yeah. I think if you partner with the school, maybe they'll be down for it, Because yeah, they get shut down because it's like, oh my God, everyone's on this app and whatever. But what does that one on the cart in the bottom left of the screen mean? What do you mean? What does that one on the cart in the bottom left of the screen mean? I have no idea. I'm probably not seeing what you're seeing. Any cream? I use shaving cream. Yeah. I think it's Barbasol, the sensitive one, the green one with the green band. So it's just basic ass shaving cream and a razor. And I've gotten I don't know. Like my girl got me a razor kit once, or like a shave or whatever. It was nicer for her. She's actually watching right now, but I tried using it, but I like simple and I like what I'm used to. So it's just a basic ass razor. There's one in the shopping cart. Oh, okay. That's the thing, though. Kids don't want to use anything that's monitored by faculty. Well, I mean, if it's a college campus and be like, here's the thing. If someone outside makes it here's the problem. Like schools, when they're making stuff for their students, I don't think they have the mindset of like having to serve their customers, which are the students, because they're getting the tuition no matter what. This is the problem with like assured payments. But if it's some outside, and this is also the incentives problems too. So yeah, like if you're getting the money from the school and not the students, then you're building for the school, which I think kind of sucks. But then also, I think you make a really good point. If you want it to be something the kids really fuck with, then you can't get permission from the school because no one wants permission because of the monitor. Yeah, I think you make a good point. So maybe it would have to be a download kind of thing. But I always thought, I actually came up with this idea. I actually had a live stream probably a few months ago where I had this whole idea of like DM dating. You know how Instagram has basically become a dating app. So I thought about formalizing it, like building an app around it, using Instagram's API. So you can pull profile pictures and feed pictures, and then you can put together the interface, whatever, and do basically swiping or whatever. kind of stuff, same thing, except add additional information that doesn't exist on Instagram right now. So like location information. You should not be hollering at a chick who's like 1,000 miles away in a different state, blah, blah, blah. That's a waste of time. Don't not be doing that. So I'm like, all right, what if we could put like radius information, ethnicity? I don't know if ethnicity matters, but age information, so that like we can formalize Instagram as a dating app since people are using it that way, and then build the app. And so maybe this could be the thing. And so instead, because I was trying to figure out how could I market this if I did build it. And I've taken this new approach with like building software. I'm not going to build it unless I can figure out the marketing and distribution first, because I've wasted too much time building things that turns out I don't know how to get into people's hands. Thanks. There's one in the shopping cart. Cool. Good for you. Ryan. All right. Here's your girl. I knew it. Okay. Choo. Brother, please pray for me. Oh, okay. Are you aware that some is selling something on your page? Click on it. You may need to find it. No. Yeah, that's me. That's here. That's me. I'm trying to figure out a way to monetize this whole podcast. And I make this and I use it. So that's why I'm doing that. It's not for everybody, but if you like a thin wallet, like there's 6 cards and 10 bills in here, and I can put it in my front pocket with my phone. You don't have to show the money. Okay. Like, why do people always assume like, oh, why would I want to show? You don't have to show the money. It's just demonstration purposes. Damn it. My sister said the same thing. I'm like, you don't have to show the money. You can put things here like pictures of your family or barcodes or artwork or stickers or something. Like, it doesn't have to be. And it's not even a crazy idea, because there are other slim and light wallets out there. They charge $25 minimum. Here it's $19.97, and TikTok gives you discounts because they're trying to promote TikTok Shop. And if I can get a little bit of cheddar off this would be great too. But I'm just trying to prove out an idea and maybe get some cheddar this way. And I make it, made in America. But yeah, I just listed the product. Don't worry about it, Ryan. But yeah, dating app. Let's build a dating app. I've talked about this idea enough times, but I haven't figured out the traction part. Because like it's not an easy thing to build, but it's not a hard thing to build either. Like, I fuck with software. So it's just like, I'm not going to spend all this time building this thing that no one ends up using. So like, if you can get the email list going or whatever. And right now I'm reading this book. Trust me, I'm lying. Media Manipulator, and how he used blogs to promote American Apparel and some of the figures he was working with. So maybe I can apply some of the principles in here to do some good and righteous things out here for people. I may need to look into getting one. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's up to you. I'm not trying to pressure anybody into anything here, but like, I think it is what it is. I haven't figured out like how I'm going to ship all this stuff, whatever, but trying something new. That's the thing. Like, I haven't built a website or anything for it yet. So this is literally the first time I'm putting it out here. And it is the one of one. Maybe it becomes a collector item. Yeah. I got to make some videos about this. Eventually, I'm going to be posting some videos about this and like putting them in weird situations. It would be a funny experiment to like, I probably have to put some fake cards in here. Maybe I'll put like this and see if people give me the wallet back. That's interesting. Would people give me the wallet? If I drop this, would people give me the wallet back? And so that would be a cool test. Maybe I'll get some fake $100 bills or something. And then I reward them with a real $100 bill if they give me the money back. You know, that video would go hella viral. And then I'd be product placement. I like that idea. I actually really like that idea. The author is Ryan Holiday. He was director of marketing at American Apparel. He's now doing this whole like daily stoic kind of movement thing. But yeah, some of the things he's done, it's crazy. Some of the stories in here, it's wild. So yeah, good books. Maybe we should have like a session every day or every live stream. I have a book of the week, and just like, all right, this week I'm reading this thing, and this book is talking about whatever, blah, blah, blah. That'd be interesting. Maybe we do that? That'd be fun. Like, we have a yes, please, and let's discuss it. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. Book club. Everyone, I would have to announce the book of the week for the upcoming week. And then whether or not you read it, I could talk about it, or we could talk about it and talk about it. Like, I prefer nonfiction, by the way. So, like, I don't know. I don't do the whole fiction thing, but that'd be interesting. Okay, Ryan. Yeah. Living in Charlotte, North Carolina. Love cooking for fun. God is everything. IG Lawboy 34. Are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer? Yes, but we get together and do the book selections. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I always have like a running list. I have a bunch of books. Oh God, you are a lawyer? Oh man, I feel some type of way about lawyers. No, are you the kind of lawyer like in that show Suits, or are you the type of lawyer you understand? All right, can you spill any secrets about the profession? Is it really as fucked up as everyone has the impression of the whole thing? Like, yeah. Mm. Hmm. I don't know. Lawyers are interesting. I feel I have two minds about them. Certain lawyers, I don't know. I feel some type of way, and then, but I think I fuck with like defense attorneys for real, just because they're the bad guys of the whole thing, or at least the bad boys of the whole thing. Nope. Take it like this. If I didn't go to law school, I wouldn't have gone, but it's paying the bills. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Like, if you could do something that would pay the bills just the same, what would it be? Would you still use your NALA, your corporate lawyer? Okay. Oh man. Oh no. Oh, you'd be a chef. Okay. Interesting. What kind of what? Oh yeah, because you say you love cooking. Love cooking for fun. Do you make any content on here with cooking? If not, you should. All you need is like you could stream overhead and just show like your cooking surface or something. I could see that being a thing, even live streaming. Well, I mean, you'll need some more followers to get a live stream. So anyone watching, follow Ryan, so we can get him up to over that 1,000 requirement. Your parents wouldn't allow you to be a chef. Are you the son of an immigrant? Is that the thing? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I always encourage people like, got it. Yeah, same here. They wouldn't allow you to. I don't know. Like, I really fuck with Jamaican. Oh, okay. Have you seen the show The Bear? Have you seen the show The Bear? Like, surprisingly good show. Surprisingly good show. I did not expect to really enjoy it, but especially season 2, like, really hit. Especially episode 7 of season 2, really hit. And I was just like, yo. It's on Apple Hulu, I think. I think it's Hulu or Apple TV. No, maybe Hulu. But you might like it. It stars the brother in Shameless, but basically it's about this like fancy the bear. Yeah, it's the bear. Um, it's a good show. Season 2 is even better than season 1. Season 1's decent, but like it's a show about this restaurant, and this brother ends up inheriting this restaurant, and he's like a Michelin star restaurant chef kind of dude, and he ends up taking over his brother's like sandwich shop and trying to revive it and all that. Yeah, definitely check it out for sure. It's a good show, man. I'm like, yo, season 2 really hit me, and it's just it's beyond cooking. It's about the narrative and the story about this brother and the work that they do. It's pretty cool. But yeah, if you're not making content, you should definitely make some content. You might as well, like I heard someone say this on a podcast this week, like we all have hobbies, but hobbies are just are things that we do because we're too afraid to make money from it. Hobbies are things that we love, or at least are avocations, things that we are almost meant to be doing. And a lot of us are too afraid, including myself, to turn it into something that can make money, because that requires putting yourself out there and telling people. And that's a tough situation for a lot of people, because it's just like, oh man, who would want this from me? Who would spend money on this? But the internet has unlocked a number of ways to make money that otherwise you couldn't have. So who knows? Maybe you become the lawyer who cooks on YouTube. That could be a thing, you know. So you are aware of how the parents are. Interesting. Why do you ask if the son of an immigrant? Yeah, because I'm the son of an immigrant, and I know how immigrant parents are. They're like doctor, lawyer, engineer. Those are the three. And you chose the lawyer path. I took the engineer path. It's the Trinity. It's like, you know, like in Pokemon, when you're choosing your Pokemon, you go into that, like, what's his name? The laboratory or whatever, and you get to choose, they give you a Pokeball and you get to choose a Charizard or a Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur. Those are basically the three for immigrant parents. It's like doctor, lawyer, engineer. Those are the three. And people never choose Pikachu because they're afraid. They're like, why would I go through this path that everyone's going to give me shit about, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't pressured into becoming an engineer. I just know that a lot of my peers felt the pressure too. I was always meant to be an engineer. You know, like, it's just my disposition, the way I am. So it worked out for me, but not my peers. Oh, or a teacher. Okay. Where are your parents from? They're from East Africa, Eritrea. So yeah, I know that life. I know where that immigrant pressure that immigrant parents put on their kids, to, because education is everything for them, and I get it. Mechanical. I started off as a mechanical engineer, and I got bored of the profession and decided to go into business operations. And then now I'm in software. I am the black sheep. I'm the guy who's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, and yeah, if I fail a lot while doing it, I'm okay with that. And luckily enough, I'm not burdened with any like sort of financial difficulties so I can pursue these kind of things. Cool. That's dope. I wish I was bright enough to do that. I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with like being bright or anything. It's like sort of like what you're meant to do, the thing that like fulfills your soul, you know? Like for me, that's the thing. Like for me, it's not actually, the engineer was the closest profession to what I actually want to do. And what I actually wanted to do was invent things, build things, create things in the world. And engineer fit that sort of purpose really well. And so that's the way I described it, but really is to invent things. And so even stupid things or simple things like this, like, who makes a transparent wallet? I wanted a wallet. I didn't want to spend 30, 40 bucks on a similar plastic wallet that wasn't transparent, and I figured an easy way to make it, so I did. And so I use it every day. And so now I'm like, all right, let's see if I can sell this shit. If other people are out there who are interested in something cool like this, I can give it. And so, like, yeah, I have all these ideas of things that could exist that I think would be really cool. And so let me see if I can build it. And so I found my thing. And luckily there was a profession that fit sort of that shape, but it's not about it being difficult. It's like, it's what I was meant to do. And so like the math, the physics, all that came naturally to me. It's, in fact, I am like a natural academic. I like learning. And so that's sort of part of my purpose too. And so for you, maybe it's something else. And I wish people tried things, you know, tried to explore the different facets of their personality and the things that move them. And a lot of that is searching. I was lucky enough to find something that sort of fit my purpose. But for a lot of people, you know, you just fall into this trap of like, your parents tell you what to do, or like, hey, this makes a lot of money, so I can do that, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you're going to be miserable eventually, you know? And so it just sucks to see people do this. Maybe next week's book, after I get through this book, Robert Greene, you guys know him from 48 Laws of Power. He wrote another book called Mastery, where it goes into all this, like the path of someone who becomes a master, how it's not this direct path that people go through, but it's all this like going in all these different directions to find things that they're curious about, to explore their mind and their interests, and somehow find this weird combination of things that all then come together to make themselves uniquely masterful at this thing that only they can do. And so Maybe that could be the book after this, Mastery, which I'm thinking about. But apparently, this is the path, like Leonardo da Vinci, Charles Darwin, all these great figures in history and in scientific discovery took the same path of like doing all these different things, but pursuing it so deeply because they were driven by their curiosity. And if people could do that, then I think they would live much more fulfilling lives. Uh, I've seen hella vids of kids getting sent to their home country for failing their GCSEs. Really, what's your favorite pharmacy? CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS. That's good. I would pass out just looking at those mathematical formulas. Yeah, I don't know, but like, here's the thing: ask me to read a whole ass legal document of legalese. Like, I would be bored out of my mind. But for you, I don't know, maybe you can catch those little gotchas in contracts or whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, how to fit my major into the fashion industry. You're right. Yeah. And whatever you're trying to do in fashion, like, start doing it. Like, you're in school, so it doesn't seem like you have a lot of time, but you're going to have more time than you have more time now than you'll ever have. And in an environment where you're allowed, or at least it's expected, that you don't have responsibilities, at least in the way that adults do, right, in the workforce. So go build that thing. Go do that thing. I don't think the schools are good at teaching invention. Yeah, they're not. Their schools are good at telling you this is how it's supposed to be, and then yeah, it's sticking with it. It's like, yeah, that's why I think the next great scientific discovery is not going to come out of it's not going to come out of a university. It can't. It can't. Just the structure of it. And then now you're seeing all this like news come out of like fraudulent papers that have been published that are completely untrue or fabricated data. And it's just like, all right, so the incentives problem alone makes it the pursuit of truth is not a priority at these universities anymore. They are degree mills, credential mills. How many can we crank out, and how much can our endowment be? How big can it be? And so it's like the next great scientific discovery is going to be something crazy. Like even the Wright brothers, they were bicycle repairmen. They made bikes, but it was the pursuit of flight that they were curious about. And there was other people working on flight that were heavily funded, but they didn't have that passion. It was about the glory of flight for them instead of like the purpose of actually becoming like birds. And yeah, it's crazy. Law helps you be extremely analytical. Turned down for what? Hey, yeah, you see everything. Yeah, I'm sure it's like someone. You know how like someone who plays Call of Duty a lot can see all these little tiny little changes on a screen because they got so good with their twitch or their detection of slight changes. I bet you're the same way with like contracts. Like, you try to get me with that rider, nah, and I saw it. Or maybe you try to catch other lawyers or something. I guess we need it to be very curious. Yeah, I wish more people were. I'm just going to say this, and it brings me pride as a Black scientist. None of those fraudulent papers were from Black people. Good point. That's true. They were, as far as I could tell, white. Yeah. Oh, man. Here's a crazy thing. Do it wink? I'm not sure what you mean. All of the above. Let's see. That's funny, dude. Joshua. He's on YouTube, guys. If you're not, that's why you're not seeing the comment here. I guess we need to be very curious. All of the above. Oh, that's good. Yeah. You know, it's funny because like I used to work in the pharmaceutical industry. I made a transition from mechanical engineering to business operations, which put me into ended up getting a job in the pharmaceutical industry. And part of my job was to help certain parts of the business improve, basically lean and Six Sigma kind of stuff, if you're familiar with it, Joshua. And like they had this talk where they invited some of the scientists who make all these like protein discoveries, medicines that end up the proteins that end up becoming medicines. And the first stage of discovery is looking at published research to find out if there's any proteins of interest that might be worth pursuing. that could eventually become a medicine. But after they discover something that's been published, obviously, as good scientists, they conduct the experiment themselves. And you know what they found? Do you know what they found, guys? Conducting the experiment themselves, they found 70 to 80% of the published research that they tried to replicate, they couldn't. They couldn't replicate them at all. 70 to 80% of published research, they couldn't replicate. This is in medicine, which I would say is a relatively hard science, biologics and chemistry. And that admission kind of blew my mind. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap. People have no clue how fraudulent the scientific community really is. I'm sure, Joshua, maybe you can speak on this, but I'll put that on the screen just so the YouTube stream can have that. But I think that's a really good point. They were not Black people. I'm going to bring this up every time someone wants to double check only my work. Oh, does that happen? Does that happen to you, Joshua? That's crazy. That's kind of fucked up. That's good. I'm a nurse, ER, 30 years. Pharmaceutical business is so corrupt. Yeah. Like, even the company I work for, I would say is better than most, but even they did shady shit. And I was just like, yo. And then the employees who work there, gaslit themselves into thinking that the shady shit wasn't shady. That's wild, bro. It's wild. And then the whole pricing structure of pharmaceuticals and stuff. And it's just like, all right, and then there's medicine that works the same way, but it's off-label use. So, people are like, oh, it's not as safe. It's like, bullshit. You're charging what, about $2,000 per dose, and this off-label use of this other medicine that works the same way costs $50 a dose. But it's not FDA approved because nobody has an incentive to go get it FDA approved, which would cost a minimum of $5 million after you've collected all your data yourself. Do you guys know that? Joshua, you probably know this, but to make a medicine, a company is fronting the money to go investigate if this is a viable drug. So they got to run their own clinical trials. They got to find the partners in universities where they can run these trials and run them. They have to organize all the information. They got to supply all the drugs. So they have to actually manufacture this shit, send it to all these facilities running the clinical trials. All this has to be done before a drug can even be approved. So you can imagine it can get pretty expensive, especially when you don't have the economies of scale and you're not actually making money from the drug yet until you can prove that it is actually safe. And so all this upfront cost just to get a medicine approved. And then on top of that, once you go through the stages, get all the data from all the clinical trials, then you go submit it to the FDA. You pay them a hefty sum to review your information. And then from there, they get to tell you yes or no. That's what they do. That's what the FDA does. And you know what they're giving you approval for? It's not the ability to put it in people's bodies. You can do that anytime you want. It's the FDA is approving the marketing of that drug, the selling of that drug. No, actually, specifically just the marketing, the ability to sell that drug to people. And what does that mean? Why am I saying it in this way? Because this is where the Constitution comes in. The government has the right to govern interstate commerce. So what they use as a way to control companies is their power to say whether or not you can sell something. Now, if these pharmaceutical companies wanted to give this drug away for free, they could, and they wouldn't have to deal with any FDA bullshit, which is how these clinical trials get. I mean, obviously they start the process with like a BLA and stuff like that. But I mean, technically you can make something, give it away for free, and the government can't say shit about it because they don't have the power to tell you can't give something away for free. Now, obviously they try to, depending on certain things, like drugs are sort of like narcotics and stuff like that can be an exception because of the harmful effects of it. But I mean, whatever. I don't want to get into the whole wonkiness of all that, but it's interesting how it all works. So yeah, drug manufacturing is interesting. It's a crazy process, man. Yeah, dude, it's wild. And so it's like, I don't even think people understand how our government works and how laws work. Here, it's beautiful that we have Ryan, a lawyer, so correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, but literally every law in existence should be derived in some way from our Constitution. That's the whole point. That's why that shit exists. But people miss that. They this is how you know the public. We were talking about this earlier, the whole public school system and how it's just it's a shame what it is. But like you spend what 12 you spend over a decade in public schools learning all this shit, and you don't even know how the government works or how the laws that govern us work. It's crazy. It's crazy. There were some companies that made nurses get the shot or they would be fired. Not cool. Yeah, you know, bodily autonomy only matters in certain contexts, but in others, they ignore it. You know, the whole thing's so weird. I know there's a lot of red tape when it comes to government dealings. It's intentional. Yeah, see, that's what I think too. I think it's intentional, but who knows? It could just be incompetence. It could be. I don't know. I try not to attribute to malice what can be easily attributed to stupidity. And so it could very well just be incompetent fools. But at the same time, it's like it does work in their interest. So that's the thing that kind of bothers me. It's like, no way, are they accidentally doing all this? I don't know. This is wild. So it's just interesting. So I have some dreams of the future where I can like fuck with the system a little bit by giving things away for free. I'm just like, oh, gun control, got it. What if I can make a lower receiver out of a polymer that I can plastic inject for like really, really cheap? We're talking like cents to make, and I could just go to a gun show and give it away to people and just be like, ha, you can't do shit. Like, you know, what now? You're gonna tell me I can't sell this? I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. I literally just put it in a giveaway box, and people can take whatever they want. It would just be the lower receiver, so you still have to build the whole thing. But I think it would just be hilarious. Or even like off-label use of drugs. I could fund eventually, if I make enough money, I could fund clinical trials of off-label use medications, turning them into on-label use, even though no one in the market has an incentive to do that. And it would just be like a sort of donation to the world. Just like, okay, so like this wet AMD drug that, or this like cancer drug that can also be used to treat wet AMD off-label. I run the clinical trials, and then I get it approved by the FDA, and then disrupt this whole market of wet AMD drugs. That'd be kind of cool. I know, like the whole, like, I know there's some laws. Yeah, I know, Brian, but I just think it'd be cool if we could do shit like that. I know there's probably things I haven't looked into, but it would be hilarious. Or like public schools, start competing schools that get funded through companies, you know? So like a public school, instead, if it was a competing school that's funded by companies for future employees, you know? Like what if, you know how like we have internship programs and like apprenticeships? What if a company could invest in a person who has potential, like in early high school, and be like, or even middle school, and be like, look, we have all these programs. We want you to work with us in your future. And so we can fund this school. And so you would work with like a group of companies in an area, and they would fund the school. And then you could basically like start a school focused on technology for all these startups that, or tech companies that work in this area or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't know, just disruptive things like that. That's doable. I think that's happening now. Oh, perfect. I think that happens. Cool. Yeah, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that. Just people solving their own problems, because it's like, you know, you can beg the government as much as you want, but they move slow and they'll lie to you. So what if we just like deal with it ourselves? Even like home construction, I think it's way more expensive than it needs to be. Homes aren't even designed for how people live. They're designed to be sold. That's why, like, if you actually look at the way people live inside of a home, you find there are parts of it that people never use, like a dining room. That's not a thing people use a lot of, but it's a space that exists. Or even like figuring out the layout of plumbing and utilities. Like, what if you can centralize them so it reduces the amount of wiring, plumbing, and routing that you have to do, so it makes the construction cheaper? What if you can build the walls without any utilities on any external walls. That makes it a lot simpler because you don't have to worry about waterproofing. You can make it a solid structure, and you can improve the insulation and thermal capacity of the thing because you're not having all these obstructions inside the internal structure of a wall, external wall, all these things. And then, with like Starlink that can provide internet remotely, you can do a septic tank with a leach field for the water, for the sewer system. Then you could do water. You could have a well or aquifer that you plug in to, and then heating could be either gas, they do tanks in some rural areas, and then obviously electricity could be solar. And then you could be completely remote, and that kind of frees you for, at least with like constructing a house, because part of the reason why houses are expensive is not the house itself, it's the land on which it sits on. So, and because the land on which it sits on is in high demand, it's like, why is San Francisco expensive? Because of the land, not the house. The house is like any depreciating asset. Like a car, as you use it, becomes less valuable because you can get less useful life out of it. The same is true about the house structure itself. The thing that's actually appreciating is the land that it sits on. So it's like, all right, but what if you can free people from being in certain areas? And then I think you could dramatically drop the price of a house. That's what I'm on. Kids securing jobs before they even finish with school. Yeah. Isn't that how they do it in Premier League too? Soccer. I think we're describing the American experiment. It just keeps going backwards. Maybe. I'm not sure what you mean. Could you explain a little more? Isn't that what Samsung houses are trying to do? Maybe. I haven't heard of Samsung houses. Is single family builders. Ooh, oh, that's kind of cool. Tailored solutions for all levels of home builds. Deliver upon the needs of your home buyers with premium appliances that are outfitted. That's interesting. Wait, I don't get tailored solutions for all levels of home builds. Deliver upon the needs of your home buyers with premium appliances that are outfitted with an array of styles and cutting-edge innovative technologies to elevate any modern kitchen or laundry space. I don't understand. So are they giving away the house for free, or at least at cost, so they can sell appliances? That would be a hilarious business model if that's true. Planning, laying the foundation. We can help you determine the right products for your build based on the scope of your project. Oh, so you kind of have to have an architect or something. Our team can guide you to pick the right look, style, and type of appliances. Okay, I'm not sure what this is, but that's interesting. Well, you say to do things without the government, as in ourselves, which we can. I think it states in the Constitution that all rights not given to the government reside in the people. Yeah, we just keep giving power back to the government because it's easier. Yeah, it's crazy. It's motivated by laziness. That'd be crazy. I think it's more like safety and security. People have this false notion that letting other people be responsible for you, or like a government entity, is a good idea. Because here's the thing. People do not like freedom. I mean, it's a thing people say all the time, but in reality, when you understand the way people behave, they do not want to be responsible. Accountability, it's almost like they're allergic to. And so it's easy to just say, hey, government, figure this out for us. But then when you understand like the government and the people who get hired there and why they do it in the first place, you're like, they probably don't have your best interest at heart. It's like, so we're in this tough situation where people have a false perception of government, which I once had too. I'm not trying to be like all anti-government here, but like, I mean, I see the problem so blatantly now when I couldn't when I was younger. Let's see, kids securing jobs. Isn't that what? Okay. When do you think you'll announce the first book? I don't know. I just started reading this book here, so I'm going to continue reading this book. I don't know if you want to start reading it too. If you're going to get into this whole social media game, this would be a useful book to learn. It is sort of like cynical though. It will make you maybe slightly depressed about this whole journey about like growing an audience, but trust me, I'm lying. You have not been promoting products. We encourage you to introduce and promote link to keep the audience engaged and interested. This will boost your. Okay, I got to hold this up. See, this is why I put it as part of this live, just to test out what this would be like. But yes, I have my own product here. I guess I gotta tell TikTok. Like, it's crazy. I just got a dialogue box show up telling me I'm not talking about the product enough. Clear wallet, clear wallet, clear wallet, clear wallet. Good. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. I think people should study the Constitution. Yeah, it's not even that long of a document. Like, like, just at least read the amendments. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Sounds pretty clear to me, but who knows? But they meant muskets, though. All right, whatever. No, I think it's a brand new thing they're doing. I think they unveiled it at IFA very recently. Okay. Yeah. Like, I have some other ideas, like to sort of, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the idea of government coming to save you, I don't know. I don't really mess with that idea anymore. I used to be pro-government, like super big time. Like, I'm going to a public university, all this shit. And then I started working for the government. I got in that shit and I was like, holy crap. When you're in it, when you're actually, I wasn't a government worker, I was technically a contractor, but I mean, our only customer was the government, and we made stuff supporting the US Navy's nuclear fleet. And the kind of stuff that they had me working on and the amount of time they would give me to work on it, I was just like, yo, they are wasting taxpayer money by paying me. Because I'm just like, why the fuck? It's crazy. I'm just like, and then I'm in it. And then when I understand how it's like budgeting and you got to spend all the money before the end of the year, otherwise you're not going to guarantee to get it the upcoming fiscal year and all this stuff, I'm like, oh my God, these are the people who are supposed to like save us from our problem. Nah, I'm out. Let's see. No, I think brand new. What were you looking at was like bespoke smart appliances they make, or sort of like they'll help you design or choose the right appliances for your home design if you have a plan or something, and they have a catalog. I'm not sure if this is what you mentioned. Did you design the wallet? Yeah, I did. I like thin wallets that I can put in my front pocket, and it's thinner than my empty old wallet. So it's what I use every day. And I figured maybe there's other people out there who like it. The thin and light wallet thing is a thing that some people are into. It was a whole Kickstarter thing. It started off as a Kickstarter thing years ago, and I wasn't part of that initial cohort, so I ended up making it myself, and so I made it. So I use it every day, and it turns out it's actually very functional if you have cards that you use on a regular basis without that you don't want to have to take out. So like if you have barcodes, you can put it on the back pocket and scan it, and you don't have to take it out. You can tap to pay works too. You can just tap to pay. Show your ID, same thing. I've done it before, and yeah, it's cool. So you had to have clearance. I did have clearance. I had a DOE, Department of Energy security clearance. I think the lower level one, but I did, yeah. Lockheed Martin, Bechtel. Bechtel was the company I was technically employed by. Money's dirty, dog. What do you mean, like metaphorically dirty or like literally dirty? It is dirty, but like it's plastic though. I like using cash sometimes for certain purchases because I don't know. Sometimes credit card's not a. Is this Ryan Gosling? Who? I know you're not talking about me. I'm too dark for Ryan Gosling. You know, maybe I should use that filter that Pinky Doll uses to make myself lighter skin. You guys see that shit? You know, that's probably a fake news story. Now that I have this book by Ryan Holiday, trust me, I'm lying. Like the manipulation that happens in our news, you guys have no clue. Like I already knew just based on politics how fake and fraudulent our news really is, but this book I think is going to reveal a bunch of things that I didn't even understand. It's going to be like some really black pilling type shit. So, oh, you mean like putting it in my mouth? Is that the problem? When he's dirty dog? Okay. But yeah, how do you guys feel about colorism in the black community? Yo, apparently when she was at the Streamy Awards or whatever, It turns out she's like lighter skin, or she's way darker in person. Pinky Doll, I think her name is. Wait, let me double check. Pinky Doll, is that what it is? Let me see. I've been writing scripts for these videos that I've been posting. So I was writing a script about colorism. Let's see. Yeah, no. But I do have some pretty interesting video ideas upcoming. Like, most corporations are ran by women. I think that's an interesting video prepared. Another video idea is like, I wish people had less fear. Let's see. Pinky Doll. Yeah, it's Pinky Doll, TikTok. Pinky Doll Real is her username if you want to check her out. But apparently she uses a filter to lighten her skin. And then in person, when she was at the Streamy Awards or some award show or whatever, apparently she's darker, like maybe even slightly darker than me. And it's just like, it threw people off. They're like, what the fuck? Gang, 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 gang. Oh, you really are part of that gang, gang, huh? I guess. Yeah. It brings a new meaning to fake news. Definitely. Crazy. But here's the thing, it works. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? Should you blame the girl who took advantage of people's biases for lighter skinned people? Huh? Like, she's just playing the game. She's playing the game. She understands social media. She understands that, yes, there is a bias towards lighter skinned people. And she acknowledged it and learned a way and figured out a way to use it to her advantage. Like, I know there's certain things I could do in my videos that would make it more appealing to people that I choose not to do. Like, I know I could use that filter, make my skin look lighter, and it would have more reception. I can't confirm this. I haven't gone through the analytics yet, but some of my videos that have went viral, I had really good lighting that sort of lightened my skin a little bit. I'm not saying that's the reason why they went viral. I think the content was good enough, but like, yo, it's crazy. She looks like Azalea Banks in real life. I guess. Oh man, I don't know. It's weird. So like the point of this video, I was gonna make like, you shouldn't blame her. It's your fault. You guys are the ones who are colorist. You know, like, she's just, you can't be mad at someone who's taking advantage of people's natural biases. And the worst thing, it might be worse than racism because everybody does it. Everybody does it. I don't though. I gotta say this for the algorithm. I don't though. I like dark skinned honeys. No, I actually do. I actually do. My girl's about as dark as me. So yeah. So that's what I'm gonna say. You know what? I might just make a video like, all right, people have this I was thinking about this video. I was gonna open with like, people have this impression that I'm some sort of misogynist. So I'm making this video to show that I'm not. And then just list a bunch of things women are good at. Just like, women make great authors because they can put together these, which is actually true. Women do make better authors because they do have this like, they have the ability to like, one, they're more in touch with their feelings and emotions naturally and human connection. So they can write in a way that can connect with other people. And then also the ability to visualize certain things that guys typically struggle with, like the whole creating a fantasy world in their head, which you notice when you're in a relationship with a girl. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? This has nothing to do. It's like, no, it had to be. And I thought maybe you meant this thing here, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's like, that's a superpower that girls have that also burns them in relationships sometimes, but they do make better authors for sure. Generally speaking. Wait, what is the name again? Piggy Doll. I did until I was played and scammed out of 20 grand. I'm sorry, I wasn't keeping up with the comments here. What is that in reference to, Joshua? You were scammed out of 20 grand? She looks like, yeah, the content was just good. LOL, get your bread. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. So it's like, colorism's colorism, whatever. Like, and the end of that video script, I just basically explained, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. And I think part of life is just accepting what we can and can't control. And for a lot of people, that's tough because, yes, it is going to be harder for you because of the way you look or how dark your skin is or your circumstances or the people you don't know, you know, like, and it is what it is. But you just got to get through more. And that's just how unfair and shitty life can be sometimes. And I think part of being an adult is accepting life as it is. And then working to make it better for the next. That's always been my attitude. Yes, it can suck for us now, but as long as we work to make it better for the next, then I think we're good. One, the book. Oh, okay. I think colorism comes mainly from darker people who are mad at light-skinned Black people who are still Black. I assumed we all operated off the same playbook, but I was scammed by people who have darker hue. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Like, yeah, I don't know. I can't say I've had a lot of conversations with people about how they feel about their darkness or lightness in general. I mean, there is the whole stereotype of like a light-skinned dude is a type of dude, you know? Maybe he doesn't have a little street cred or he's a little soft or whatever, or he only fucks with white girls. You know, that could be a thing. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was someone on live that we had on the podcast where we actually talked about this whole like, I don't know. It was in regards to dating white women versus whatever. So it's not relevant. A lot of people don't want to accept it though. Yeah. It's an ignorant statement to me. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it just is what it is. And I'm not going to, it's like something about not worrying about the things you can't control. And you can't control how people are. And that's one of the things I've had to accept doing all this shit, trying to make some content. I'm like, all right, people like dumb shit. Sometimes I got to do dumb shit. I don't know. I'm choosing not to. And I'm like, what if I can grow this thing without making compromises with the things I think are important? Okay. So one, being honest with people. I'm reading this book here about media manipulation because I want to know how fraudulent, basically arm myself against it. The name of the book that you're reading, I would like to know, please. Oh, it's here. Trust Me, I'm Lying by Ryan Holiday. Confessions of a Media Manipulator. There you go. Playbook for the Dark Arts of Exploiting the Media. And basically, this was at the time of blogs and stuff, but I think it could easily apply to like social media right now. If you want to grow something, this is one strategy because you have to understand the motives that are at play. I've listened to a few of his talks and podcasts or whatever, where he explains like the incentives that are at play with like online media companies. They're not the newspapers of old. Okay. Like a newspaper had to curate, had to make decisions about the limited space that they had in their paper. And so they were selective about the things that they would put in because there's only a limited amount of space in that paper. But now with online media, they can publish as much as they want, as frequently as they want, to infinity. And so it is in their interest to publish as much as possible. And when you understand that, then you can understand like, okay, they need eyeballs. That's how they make their money. And so truth is not a primary motive for a lot of these people, obviously, because the truth is honestly boring most of the time. So sensationalism, things that are just crazy and unbelievable, make really good stories. And it turns out a lot of it's fabricated. You go to Google News right now, most of the stories are bullshit. They're bullshit because they have to be, because they would be boring if they were just real. They were honest. So it's the whole thing. Truth doesn't sell. Yeah, exactly. Truth doesn't sell. And so that's the dilemma these online media publications are in. And so this explains, like, at least in the era of blogs, like blogs are looking for content. And so if you can give them content, they don't really care about the truth as long as they get the eyeballs. And you notice this shit on social media too. A lot of people are saying bullshit to people just for the sake of like fucking growing. And I've chosen not to do that. And it has made the job harder. But I want to prove this out, that it is possible that you can at least be honest, but you might have to be edgy or interesting in some other way and still be able to grow. Now, I've had some relative success on TikTok, but my next step is YouTube. I've been trying to tackle YouTube, and coming up with video ideas has been difficult for me. Now they have to fight AI. Exactly. It gets even harder because now people are just making shit up. And no, they're not even making things up. They're putting things into this AI model, taking the media that comes out of it, posting it on social media, and they don't even know if the shit's real or not. They're trusting the AI. And if you've ever used the AI, you know that it can be wrong a lot of the time. It's always good to be honest, but with a twist. Yeah. Here's the thing. Like a lot of people, I don't know, when you're like too honest with people, people don't tend to like it too. I think you guys are a good, interesting group of people. And I think maybe that's what this could be. Just we're building a community of people who are one. I've noticed you guys are hella smart. Like you, Joshua, you're a fucking scientist and you want to build. I think it was you who said you wanted to build some like neural thing to like control whatever. So I was just like, all right. So I see this contest, or at least the people I've been attracting, are sort of like highly technical and smart people. And maybe there is a place where they don't have to be fucking nerds, where they're like playing video games or whatever. You can build cool shit and be edgy at the same time, you know? And I think that's a whole lane that maybe we can build with a little bit of color and a little bit of edge. That would be dope. And it's like we can all like, yeah, I think that'd be cool. And I didn't plan on this, but maybe that's what this turns into, and it would be cool. It's like, all right, this week we're building this. We're working with OpenWRT to build a ad blocker that will block ads across your network, you know, because fuck Google, that's why. I'll be so cool. And then, or like do edgy things like, tell me if I've talked about this before. The Kanye Collective. Yeah, that'll be dope, bro. Maybe because what you give off is what you attract. Perhaps that could also very well be true. That could be true. But I like the Kanye Collective. That's nice, dude. Yo, man. You should. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to like tell you what to do or anything, but it would be cool if you're the one who starts like the Kanye Collective or like the Virgil Abloh Collective. Just based on designs and fashion and clothing centered around that type of fashion or inspired by that. You're like the movie Tomorrowland, but in real life. I'm gonna have to check that movie out. I don't think I've seen it. Tomorrowland. Okay. Movie. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. I say tonight like that. Movie. But yeah, that'd be so cool if you built something like that, because it's like the Yitler. Here's the beautiful thing. We don't even have to agree with each other. It's like we all just appreciate honest discourse. And we can be mean to each other and diss each other all the time. And yeah, we'll challenge each other too. All under this umbrella of like honesty and curiosity. That'd be really cool. The Yeezus Collective, yeah. Like I was thinking like I like a certain type, like this shirt here. I got it from the Goodwill, and it turns out it's a brand called 3066. It's a golf shirt, right? It's a golf shirt, but I didn't know it was a golf shirt. But I like that it has this collar here. So I'm talking fashion now, Kirko. Like I'm not that much of a fashion guy, but I do appreciate good design here. And I like the simplicity of the buttons. It's a golf shirt. But I was thinking like, maybe even starting like a golf chic kind of thing. I wear golf clothes, but I don't golf, you know? And then it's like, I think that'd be cool. Like how people do like workman chic, where they wear like Carhartt hoodies and beanies, but they don't actually work in cold weather or do any type of like blue collar work, and their like Tims are clean or whatever, that hipster kind of thing. Instead, just do golf chic. That would be kind of cool. I know. I like the collar too. I do like the collar. But shirt's a little pricey for a golf shirt. So I was trying to find the vendor overseas that they go through. And it would be cool if I could make it. I like the pattern too. It is breathable. But I recently found a shirt at the Goodwill made out of like modal or rayon or something like that. Whatever. It's just like this really soft synthetic fiber. It'd be cool if they made this shirt in this style out of that material, and it drapes really well too. So if you got a body, you can really show it, man. And we could call it the Yeezus, the Yeezy Collective. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. And then it's just like golf chic. We don't golf, but we wear the clothes. And then maybe the shoes could be different because I'm not a fan of golf shoes. And I don't like the idea of like shorts like that. I like pants. So that's low key becoming a thing right now with people going back to Ralph Lauren. Lauren, you should consider learning golf. You would enjoy it. I have tried. Like I learned how to like juggle a golf ball on the head of, like the Tiger Woods thing. My golf swing is okay. It's not that good, but I like learning tricks. I like learning tricks whenever I learn a sport. So I end up learning how to like juggle a golf ball and everything. Country club chic. Yeah, I dig that, bro. Yeah. Like I learned how to juggle a soccer ball before I started playing soccer. I learned how to juggle a golf ball. I don't know. Whenever I always like learning weird physical things every now and then. And I just do stuff like that. But yeah, I did think about that, learning golf, because it's the sport of business. So if you're on the golf course, you can make some deals or whatever. But who knows? Maybe just looking the part might be enough. I remember going to a golf outing. The company I was working for had it for the employees, and my manager, he's like, "Yo, we need a fourth. Like, come." I'm like, "Bro, I've never played golf in my life. Why are you inviting me to this golf thing?" He's like, "It doesn't matter. It's all just friendly, whatever." I never swung a golf club in my life, so I'm really struggling. But the cool thing about the setup was like the best of you four is the score that went forward for your group, your cohort. So I wasn't holding him back or anything, but it was just awful, my swing and everything. It's like, yeah, definitely golf is worth learning. Also, because as you get older, fewer and fewer sports are going to be available to be able to play your body can handle. And so then golf is one of those sports, I think, if you're careful about your swing, you can actually do into old age. Like the other form of physical activity I really enjoy is just walking. But yeah. And then also the whole idea of golf and the double pendulum thing as an engineer. When you understand that, if you're struggling with your swing and you're an engineer and you want to understand the physics of it, think of it as a double pendulum. You're not swinging at the wrist. You're letting the club do all the work, and your arms are just, your wrist is the pivot point. And so it's a double pendulum. And then once I read it, I looked, because I was really struggling with my swing. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I'm swinging. It's like, no, you're not supposed to swing. The club does the work. It's the gravity, the centripetal acceleration of your arms locked, and your wrist is a pivot point, and the head accelerating through that pivot that actually strikes the ball. So it's not about power. It's about timing, speed. What is your specialty practice? How much can someone expect to earn doing that? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not a doctor, if that's what you're implying, because people have said that before on these lives, and I don't understand. I'm not a doctor. Similar idea to swinging a hammer. Yeah. That'll fix your golf swing. But country club chic, the country club Yeezys, Kanye collective, country club collective. I like the triple C's, C cubed. That's kind of nice. Maybe, but I'll see if I can source these. I don't know. Have you thought about like actually making the clothes yourselves? Do you have a sewing machine, Kirko, or were you just going to focus on just the technology part of fashion? I thought you were a dentist for some reason. I don't know why people think I work in medicine. I don't know. Is it because of the dots here? Like my glasses are like one of those things that they put on, before they like go into your mouth. It's zzz. I don't know. But I appreciate it. Oh, okay. So do you make your own clothes, or do you like upcycle your clothes or something? I thought so too. No. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one day. I thought it would be fun just to go to med school one day, just for fun. It'd be cool. You seem very smart and collected. Yeah, I try. MD. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah, definitely. Do you have like a Etsy store or something, or a shop? Or maybe if you're looking for a shop to sell some stuff, I have a TikTok shop. So if you want to make some money, let me know. I forget. I have to talk about this a lot on the live. Otherwise, it's going to say something. I made this, just so you guys know. I don't want to be like the guys who are selling the Wise camera who only talk about their product in the stream. The stream is about a vibe. And this wallet, I was thinking like, how do you market a transparent wallet? And so I'm like, all right, can I take the Apple approach? Like, you notice Apple doesn't sell you the computer. Okay. No, I mean, obviously they sell you a computer, but in their advertising, they're not saying we have the best computer. It has this much RAM. It has this much CPU clock cycles, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, they're not selling you on the hardware or the device itself. They're selling you on the idea behind it, the culture of creativity. Unlock your creativity. And we happen to have the tools to help you do that. Nike's the same way too. With the whole just do it. It's about triumph and success and just doing it, even when, yeah. So more than I make this. Let's see. Yeah, I've done both. Made a raincoat out of Levi jeans. Ooh, how'd you waterproof it? Did you put like a layer of silicone on it? I think that's how they typically waterproof like fabrics and stuff. And have you seen that guy on TikTok? Man, what's his name? I think like Mosaic or something, where he takes denim and he turns them into glass frames. I think that's pretty cool. I really fuck with those glasses, and I think he should be charging way more for what he charges. He only charges like, I think, a little under $300 for those frames, which I might actually cop. Those are some nice frames. So more than I make this, LOL. Say, I'm not sure. So say more than I make this. I'm not sure what you're saying, Ryan. Oh, the stuff I made, I use for myself or gave to friends. I think I can leverage tech to shake up stuff. Nice. What are your ideas? Share it with us. Oh, if you care to share it. About your wallet. So more than I make. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I priced it at $19.97 just to see, because I know, I mean, TikTok gives discounts, and I want to eventually give like discounts and everything. I think in order for this to make sense, I think I can't sell this for less than $12, I think, just for like the time it takes to make one of these. And I like the manufacturing process, or at least figuring out the manufacturing process. So I think I like see, if I lived in another life, I would be working in manufacturing, because I like the idea of like figuring out faster and easier ways to build the same thing at a higher quality, which is the whole Lean Six Sigma idea that comes out of the Toyota production system. Oh, say more about it, the functioning at all? Oh, okay. So transparency is a byproduct of the material I used. Okay. It's not, I did not intend it to be, I mean, obviously I could use any type of plastic that is a thermal plastic that can actually be melted. And you can see these edges right here. Actually, I'm not going to show my ID, but you can see these edges here. They're actually fused. It's a fused edge. I use an impulse sealer to seal it. It's typically used for like packaging, like plastic things in plastic bags and stuff, and they custom make those bags using the impulse sealer, but I made it this way. There are other products on the market. Like if you look at Paper Wallet, they make it out of this material called Tyvek, which is basically like if you've ever used a USPS, one of those like thin mailers that looks like paper, but it's not, and it's like very durable, whatever, that's Tyvek. It's often used as a waterproof lining on homes and stuff too. And so they offer this wallet, and if you look at their website, they charge $25 for that. And it's the same idea concept, thin and light wallet. There's also another wallet that I originally saw on Kickstarter called Slim Fold, which is the idea. I like the idea of a thin wallet that I could put in my front pocket with my phone, especially like when you're in a crowded place like Times Square or something like that, pickpockets, all that, whatever. I find myself doing that if I'm like in a bigger city, or sometimes like you don't want to sit on your wallet or whatever. Especially if you're going to be sitting for a long time. So I put that in my front pocket. So that's the whole idea. It's thin. It's thin. It's so thin. This full wallet with cash and cards is thinner than my empty old wallet. You don't have to, bro, unless you're into this kind of stuff. Yeah. But you will be my first order, though. So if there's any issues with the product, let me know and I'll ship you another one. I don't know why I'm saying that. Like, yeah, I got you, bro. And see if TikTok can give you any discounts or anything, because I'm not paying for those discounts. So hopefully you can get it for less, and you will literally be the first order, and that would be kind of cool. But yeah, and then the other idea is like you can use the cards in here without actually taking them out. So you can see here, tap to pay, that'll work. You can put it on the thing. You don't have to take it out. IDs, again, if you get carded, go to a bar, whatever, you don't even have to take it out. You can literally just show it like FBI style. Boom. Real quick, whatever. And then if you have like barcodes or whatever, there's a flap in the back here that you can see. That you can pull out here, and you can slide things in the back here, like let's say barcodes or stickers or whatever. If you're into thin and light wallets, this is an option. Eventually, I'm going to drop the price, but just made it today to see if it's a thing I can make some money. How can I not show the money? So you could put stuff in the back. Let me look into that. There could be a way. Like you could always just put like a dollar bill instead. So, but you could always put something else in the back if it's like receipts or cards or whatever. Or you could put pictures. So it has this flap in the back here that opens up that you can actually slide things in the back. Maybe I'll include with it. Maybe that's a good point. I should probably include something that you could put in the back there, or at least a RFID blocker. So in case if you have a worry about people looking, this is V1 by the way. So obviously I'm going to make more improvements, but let me look into that. That's a good point. If you don't want to show the money. So yeah. And then obviously if you don't want to show all the money, you could always just put the $1 bill. It's whatever security reason. Yeah, that makes sense. The way I was thinking is like, all right, people use these other wallets, like if you use like money clips, stuff like that. It's like the money's already showing in a money clip. So that's why I figured like, okay, it looks weird in the context of like a transparent wallet, but people use money clips. So it's like the money still shows, but I guess you don't want to I don't know. But yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Thank you for that feedback. But it'd be cool. So yeah, that's the wallet. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas on improvements, let me know. Like this is just V1 and I use it. So yeah, if you're into this kind of stuff, this is cool. Security reason. Yeah. All right. How are you guys still up? What time zones are you guys in? Kind of crazy you guys are still up. It's approaching midnight for me here in Central Time. I've been on for 3 hours and 26 minutes. We got Joshua on YouTube. I wonder how it feels for you, Joshua, when you're solo dolo here on YouTube. Like just enjoying the solitude. You know, it'd be great. Like eventually we build a large community and I'll always remember you because you were here from the beginning. Like I remember the first shout out I got who wasn't like a family member was this like white kid on Instagram. His name was like Narwhal something, but he put a clip of the podcast originally. Before it was just the podcast. I didn't make any videos or anything like that. It was just a clip I made of an excerpt out of the podcast with our logo on there. And this kid, he put it on his story. I was just like, yo, that was the first shout out I ever got, who wasn't someone I knew or whatever. And I was just like, yo. And that's what the grind is, guys. It's the beginning. Those are the days you're going to remember. You know, when you got a big following, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, whatever. It's just then it becomes routine. But like the beginning, man, that's the story. And you're part of that story, guys. You're part of that story. Eastern, I'm from Missouri, so I'm used to Central. Okay. Yeah, but so it's like 1 a.m. there right now, right? On a Sunday? Okay. You seem very uncomfortable talking about your product. I could definitely innovate supply chain software. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I got to get out of my way when it comes to like selling shit. Like I made that comment earlier about like hobbies are just things that we love that we're too afraid to make money from. And I think that is my situation sometimes. Just I'm like, it's good for me, but I don't know if other people will appreciate it too. You know, and with this whole content thing, like I've gotten so, I think my rule right now, I think I'm going to follow is one for me, one for you. I'm going to make a video that I want to make for me. And then the other one will be for the audience. Like I know the kind of things people like. Oh, you're studying? Okay, yeah. All right, don't let me interrupt you. Continue studying. I guess I'm just like a podcast in the background, listen, and you're just listening. What are you studying for, though? Could definitely innovate supply chain software. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Um, yeah, it'd be dope to have like the need for supply chain software. But I should, I see people sell products all the time, and they're just so confident. And I'm like, this is a shit product. How are you so confident selling this shit? But for me, this is V1, hopefully collector's edition. It's like, yeah, we come up with a lot of interesting and cool ideas. Here's the thing, I come up with things all the time, and I think all my ideas are good. I just sometimes I miss the mark a lot of the time. Like even this whole idea of like the silver things here, that's so I can clip my polarizers with magnets. If you're new here and you haven't seen those, like I just make stuff like that. The software they use now is archaic. Oh, interesting. A SaaS idea. Okay. Yeah, and I guess that applies to the whole fashion world too. Like if you're gonna be fast fashion, how do you feel about fast fashion, Kirko? Like the whole what's the store? Zara model, where they basically make 5 pieces of a garment for each store and put it out for sale as a test to see the market, and then from that iterate based on feedback from people. Oh, you're not a fan of it? Okay. Yeah, it kind of kills the whole art and creative process of it all, right? Like if you're just doing it, they've turned it into like optimization software kind of behavior. Not anything. I'm learning Latin and ancient Greek. I've always wanted to, but my training is in music and engineering. Damn, that's cool. Latin, interesting. Okay, so that you can read source material one day, just like old tomes and stuff. Is that why? I love it. Business wise, it's a good model. Yeah, it's a good model. I've noticed when the money types get into certain creative spaces, they ruin it with soullessness, if that's a word. I feel this way about Mr. Beast actually, and the content that he makes. It has no soul. It's just like, what's the biggest thing that we can, whatever, blah 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 blah. It's just like, okay, um, you launched a car off of a ramp to see how many buses it could jump. What? But people like it, I guess, or at least it's safe content that doesn't say anything. I don't know if people are going to look back 50 years from now and be like, damn, those Mr. Beast videos really hit, like whatever. But I don't know. The money types, the analytical types always ruin art and culture. And it's just like, but they get rewarded the most. And that's the part I think like creatives really get screwed. So I think it'd be cool if I can build tools to help one, give them a platform. So this is the cool thing about table moments and this whole podcast, or even this whole social thing. Like people who are truly doing unique, doesn't have to be innovative, it just needs to be creative stuff. Then giving them a platform, because a creative person is, when they're in it, they're really in it, and everything else is ignored. But the problem with that is it's hard to get any reach or traction if you don't understand the other things that need to be done in order to get reach, which is like the marketing and understanding people and stuff like that. And so a lot of creatives end up getting screwed. And so what if we can solve this problem? Possibly with software, but maybe other tools too. It's a slap in the face to companies who are trying to make everything with sustainable materials. Yeah, I can see that. I always wanted to, but my training is in music and engineering. Yes, and until the early 1900s, it was the language of European science. Yeah, so you'll be able to read like literal, like actual, as it was written, kind of stuff. That's kind of cool. Is it hard to learn Latin? Um, you're right, though. I gotta hop off. Peace. Yeah. Good night, bro. Have a good one. I think I'm gonna be hopping off too. You guys have any last minute things, Joshua? Or Ryan, let's see, anyone else in the chat here? User 725, Angela, Angel Dominguez, yeah, Jess, Ryan. Yeah, you guys have any last minute comments or whatever? I think I'm gonna go to bed. By the way, book of the week is Trust Me, I'm Lying. Trust Me, I'm Lying by Ryan Holiday. And next week, I'll put it as a topic of discussion. I'll write it down so I don't forget. Book of the week. Book of the week. Trust Me, I'm Lying. Trust Me, I'm Lying. If you guys want to read along, you can get it on Amazon. I do this every Sunday around 8 p.m. Central Time. So if you might see me here next week. I've always talked about like coming on, doing it more frequently. Maybe I'll show up, but yeah, I will definitely for sure be here sometime around 8 p.m. next week, Sunday. It's my weekly thing to connect with you guys and yeah, have a good time. It's 3 hours, 35 minutes. Crazy. Yeah, appreciate everyone here. Joshua, much easier than you think. Greek is the hard one. Interesting. Okay. Maybe Latin would be cool. Latin would be cool. Yeah, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes. And then if anyone, look forward to next week. Obviously, I'm streaming here on TikTok. I'm also on YouTube and Twitch. Maybe I'll start Kick too to get some of the young minds on this stuff, you know? Nah, I don't know. I feel some type of way about the gambling stuff, but it is what it is. All right, everyone, have a good night. Enjoy your upcoming week. Get some good wins. Don't let colorism hold you down. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye. Let's end on TikTok first here. And now, and goodbye, Joshua, and anyone else who's watching. Bye.